I feel like we didn't do like the cliche thing when the lottery got really high, right? And talk about like
what we would do.
How would you spend the money, especially since it's so much, right? But here's the thing: there's like a Forbes article that said the winner of the 1.28
has not come around yet.
well, they haven't yet, but because of the fact that if it's an outright payment, instead of like the annuity,
The government wins a lottery.
when you're said and done, because you only get 433.7 million of the 1.28, which is a third of it.
I'll take it.
Kind of fucked up. Me too. But it still kind of hurts when you take $800 million from me.
It does, but I didn't really have it in the.
No, word up, but I could have had it. Like, why did you tell me that the lottery? You should tell me what it is after tax.
That's how I feel about my actual payment, like from my job. Why are we talking about taxes? You're gonna take them anyway. Tell me what I'm getting.
It's true.
It shouldn't be before taxes. It'd be like after taxes.
So you want to tell me what the gross is, just so I can look at my check really upset that you took all my money? So, in that same cliche vein, what would you guys do with a $433 million jackpot?
First thing, like the first thing on my
I
mind.
talked to somebody who said they would continue working. I said, you have nothing going on in your life.
I don't think I'm. Well, work is relative. It's like,
But like
what are you
in
going
the
to
same
do for
job.
your?
Like, I wouldn't do that.
No, hell no. I don't even think that's a. Like,
I'm happy to be able to have a job because like you need it in this world, but I don't want to have a job.
of course, because some people don't, and I want to be one of those people.
Yeah, word.
So first thing. All right, so you got to think about the fact that
The first thing I'm doing is quitting my job.
I don't even.
I'm going out Dave Chappelle style. I'm rich.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
like,
don't think you even. That's not even like. That's not even mentionable. Like I thought that was like a foregone conclusion that I'm not coming back. Like
pretend
somebody
like
win the lotto, you
pretend,
should figure out.
pretend like there's no foregone conclusions. Just give me what you got. You know.
Well, I guess if we're all gonna say that, I'm pretty sure we all just leave the job we're at.
Okay, well, fine. What's the second thing then? We gotta.
Second thing, okay, so I want to make sure that any dumb decisions I make later are reinforced by great financial decisions at first. So half the money is going into investments, franchises, real estate, all that, right? That's what I'm doing.
But that's not the first thing you're gonna do.
It is the.
You get the
first
check,
thing.
you cash
No.
the check, the money's in your bank account, and you're gonna go and invest it right away. No, I'm going on fucking vacation for like a month and a half.
Well, that's coming next.
I'm-
That comes next. But I want to make sure that I can make all the dumb decisions I want. How much is this island we're on right now? Right? Like that's what would come to my mind. So I want to make sure half my. How much was it? 400 and what?
433.7.
All right. So let's say it's like you got 216 million, right? You take that, wakata, take it, and you're like, all right, this is going into make sure that forever I can do dumb things.
Right.
So that goes into franchises. I'm talking about like a whole
I
bunch of
feel like this is just not
Starbucks.
realistic. Like if I know you and I've known you for
Are you
as
talking
long
about
as I
like the
could know
first
you
thing I'm gonna
possibly.
do is like buy? Are you saying like I'm gonna go buy a
Dude,
car?
what is
or something?
the first thing you're doing is not going to an accountant and being like, all right, what can I do with
think-
all this money?
okay, so that's the
What are
fucked
the
up thing.
investments that I should make? You're
That's
not doing that first.
That's fucked up. That should be the first thing, right?
Why? Because if you go on vacation for a month, you think you're going to spend $433
I'm not
million?
going on vacation for a month. That's where you're all wrong.
Right.
I'm not coming back to this motherfucker, man. No, I promise you. That's why you got to let me finish. All right, I've thought about this over the last week or so, right? Because this happened. I was like, so the first thing, money's divided, invested. That's not touched. That's making my money's making money for me. Secondly, I'm gonna say, okay, I have this many people I know in my life. They all deserve something.
Right.
Care packages, middle of the night, dropped off. Bang, 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 bang. I don't want you to even know I was there. Just gonna I'm gonna put a nice letter on your door, and then for about a year or so, I'm gonna go travel from literal resort island to whatever for a year. Month here, 2 weeks there. Don't like this place. We're going over here. I'll come back in a year, see where my money's at, right? Maybe buy a home, leave again.
Well, why are you going to buy a home if you're just going to go? That's a waste of investment. You know,
Like a cool place.
you're not coming back here. What
No,
the hell do you need a house
when
for?
I come back, I want to come back to a dope crib on like a.
You said you weren't coming back.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I have to come back at some point. That was like embellishment. That
Well,
was.
I mean, you know,
That was just me saying, "Hey, just
$430
so you know,
million
a
is too
month
much to
is not in
embellish."
the plans.
Right.
A month vacation, if you have $400 million, You're
430
doing it
million. We're
wrong,
talking millions,
homie.
so every million is important.
you're doing it wrong, Holmes. You got to do it differently than that. All right. Well, that's my first thing. I mean, well, actually, you know what? I do need a home because I need a garage so I can have all my cars there. That's my thing.
See, that's why when you start talking about, oh, I'm gonna go and leave and not ever come back, that's when things get cloudy because you can't get all the things that you want. You don't have a home base. You don't, like, you have to. You need
I'm
a
not
home
even
base.
gonna have a fucking.
You need a home base. Whether
I
it's
wouldn't
just
even
like-
have luggage. I'd have a backpack with like fucking headphones and like cool shit in it. But I would literally just buy my clothes daily. Like, time to go get dressed.
And that's why you would go broke. Doesn't matter what your
no, I
investments
wouldn't, because half of my money is already made the money back by that point.
I think you think
I
your money
told
is working
you.
a little too quickly these
I
days.
told
You
you.
realize how terrible the economy is in general. You know, it's
Tipping
not
is
as
tax
simple as
free,
just
and I
having
know a
something
lot
back.
of people that like this. I said it. No, I'm telling you, there's no. That's why half it's got to go right away, because I'm gonna make poor decisions. Well, how much did
But
you
you
say
also-
this car was? I could afford
So,
that.
but then you're gonna have an accountant because you're not gonna want to sit here and deal with the day to day, right? But then you're gonna make sure that
you know who
have
I think's gonna be my accountant.
pops. You gotta have somebody you know that you trust. You know?
It's gonna be Pops would be my accountant, only
Okay.
because he knows how to manage money, and I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he knows how to manage $430 million though.
Also, he's why wouldn't he be? He'd probably outsource it. Like I was gonna.
He's
do
like,
it,
oh, I sent some money overseas.
but I bought a boat. And I'm sorry. Oh man, if you told me that, I'd be like, dude, well, how much did you send?
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, give me my money back. Give it all, whatever's left, just give it back to me.
Well, I bought some shoes. So, what about
Okay.
you, Dave?
I would. I mean, so first thing, I don't know. That's a lot.
So are we talking about like small purchases? Like, oh, I wanted one of
Yeah,
these.
I have
and-
no idea.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
are we talking about like
So-
this is the big step before?
No, I said the first thing.
The first thing I think of is I'm calling my lawyers and my real estate team, and I'm buying my house outright
that's probably
because
that's cool.
that's my rental property, so that's money
Right.
being made again. So
Yeah.
then I would buy a new car because we have a used car that's older. So, yeah, I mean, probably buy a lot of land.
Yeah, I can. That would be like where you. It's like your own
Because with
Dave
that,
land, right?
then I would be
McConnell land?
selling my produce. I'd be selling meat from whatever animals I have. I'd be starting a brewery there too.
So you'd have like a sustainable.
Oh, that's what we're doing right
property.
now. Yeah,
that would be pretty
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Would you do any vacationing? Would you leave for a bit?
Yeah.
Get missing, as they say.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Candace just did my wife just did a Ancestry.com thing and a 23andMe. She found out that she's predominantly West African. She had no idea. She thought that she was predominantly Mexican.
Okay,
So yeah, we wanted to go to Africa.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and visit. I'm assuming like almost like a
know.
straight tour of the motherland essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I would see that, and that would be like an extended trip because
And
there's so
then-
much in Africa. You would have to be there
right.
for so long. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I guess thinking about it right now, I would want to do Africa, Italy, then Mexico, then back home. She's Mexican. I'm Italian.
And the great
And
thing
both of us
about
are
all that
African
money
Americans, so-
is you don't have to worry about time. You just
Yeah.
and that's where I think where I'm getting at. A month is like that's like capping off something you don't need to cap
Well,
off.
because in my head, I'm making money while I'm gone.
Right,
So,
and that's what I was getting at.
yeah.
I need to
I would want to get my investments right first.
any length of time you're gone or any purchases
But
with
I mean,
that money
also
wouldn't be
with
hurt.
that, like, I mean, there's a lot that like I want, you know.
What do you
Well,
mean?
like,
how so? Like
what
just
do I
materialistic
need?
things
You know?
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I would just be too excited to
I
be
would
like,
buy a lot
yeah.
of dumb shit probably.
And that's
like-
why you have to
yeah.
invest a lot of that money.
So yeah, that's
to
why I want
cover
to make
those
sure that my
investments.
investments are taken care of. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get a new car, so let's just have fun here. What kind of car is it, Dave?
Either a Jaguar. I don't really know what model recently because like I really don't look at cars that much anymore. But when I was younger, Jaguars were my thing.
Okay.
So a Jaguar, and then
Like older Jaguar, like the
no, I
old body
think
style.
like these new school models are really dope. I really like them a lot. I just don't know
agree.
names, but
I agree.
I don't
No,
really pay attention to it. As
They
much
have a
as I
nice
used to.
lineup right now. That's appropriate.
So a Jaguar, maybe even like a Benz truck. I don't know, or a Benz SUV.
Yeah, the G wagon always got to be in my repertoire.
I don't know. Yeah,
One on
like
one.
black matte,
Gotcha.
everything.
No,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
kind of my thing.
So Dave is going to pay off his crib, invest, and go on an ancestry tour. Essentially.
Definitely, that would be beautiful, man. I'm so sorry.
That is actually a pretty cool thing to think about. Like, all right, you know what? I want to go see where I come from.
Sure.
And with that money, like what I'm saying is, you could be like, oh, we're in Africa, but I can't. There's no itinerary where you got to leave this place to get to this place. You'd be like, all right, well, let's experience everything it has to offer.
I mean-
and then leave again, leave to the next spot.
Again, thinking about this right now because I'm talking about it, but I think I mean, I'd probably break them off. Certain
yeah,
parts
yeah.
of the,
Try to leave your mark, right? Like here's
Yeah,
this.
not necessarily like
Not vanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Not vanity
But I
wise,
want, well, yeah, just
Set
for
up, like,
them.
your
I
own
want to
little-
do something for them. Like they deserve that.
Set up a
man.
foundation out there. type of
Africa's
thing.
forgotten. The Middle East is forgotten. You know.
Yeah. Well, certain parts of the Middle East. You go to certain
get
parts
you.
of the Middle
No,
East.
no, I
You're
hear
like,
you.
well, this
So-
place
yeah,
is
like,
monster.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Which I'm sure is the same thing in Africa. It's
Right,
just
well,
not televised.
yeah,
You know, we don't know much about it, but yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I had that much money, I definitely want to give back. And if my investments are taken care of and I'm making money on that, yeah.
And that's another thing. Like I'm saying, all right, I have this set to the side and it's making money. If I have this much and I want to give this as a charitable donation,
Yeah.
it's not something that you have to like, oh man, can I even feasibly do
Keep
that?
at least as much coming in as is going out.
Exactly.
I think I would franchise a Chick-fil-A, like a couple. I would franchise a couple Foot Lockers, and I would franchise probably like an Office Depot or two.
I try to
I feel
be
like those
like
are really big businesses that'll never really slow down.
Like,
you know?
yeah, I feel like following the Shaquille O'Neal model
Or even like a
is
Costco.
where because Shaq's got gyms,
Car insurance.
nightclubs,
You
dealerships.
should always try to go for more if you can.
Yes.
I got 22 kook roofs. I was
How many cook rooms you got? No, that's I fuck with that.
Also, a really cool thing is like I wouldn't even really have to spend a lot of money on the cars that I was talking about. If you have an LLC, you can claim your car as a work car,
Yeah.
and it's paid off through your business. Then I guess something like that.
Yeah, there's certain percentages they'll do
Right.
for like, but if you reach that I think that's what that 6,000 pound
Yeah,
rule
threshold or something
then
like that.
it's almost dollar for dollar. They can
You got to get a good tax lawyer.
That's
first.
what it is.
yeah.
So you can, because there's a lot of write-offs that
Tax
come along
law
when you're rich and you're spending
know,
money like that.
Yeah.
To
I mean,
know
I'm looking into a
tax
lot of shit
law
like that.
is important.
There's a lot of reasons why these, wealthier people maintain their wealth.
It's because they understand.
Because they don't pay
loopholes.
taxes.
There's
Because
loopholes.
way,
Shakir
yeah.
about to go to jail for 8 years on that shit.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like most of these guys who are rich and like deal with real estate, a lot of that is just avoiding capital gains. And
Exactly.
when you dump it into another big property with multiple units, now you've got the cash flow every
The idea
month,
is to
and
not
that's why you
liquidate.
have a large amount of
You want liquid
cash
assets,
on
but
hand.
you don't want to liquidate the things that you've invested in already.
Yeah.
You just change the investment if you need to. But once you liquidate, that's when they hit you with the taxes.
All right, well, you tell us what you would purchase.
Well,
son, or do.
What's the first
tells
thing
me?
you
Some
would
tells
do?
me Adam's gonna be super ignorant. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a plane and then
No. Listen, I would. I would.
G5.
That wouldn't be a bad investment considering how much I'm willing to travel.
I'd
you know what I
have
mean?
I'd have
Like,
multiple planes, right?
I wouldn't have
that
multiple.
wouldn't come first.
I'd have like a plane and a helicopter to be able to get around where I need to.
Right.
I don't even think I would buy a car. Because once I get to those places, I'm not gonna unless I like had a big enough thing that I could bring a car on a plane with me.
Where do you the army?
Yeah, right.
Excuse me, but Jada has said that himself. I don't like to rent, so when I fly now, I'll bring the cars on. He doesn't have like a bajillion
I
dollars.
think that was
can make it work.
probably more or less just like an embellished.
No, I don't
line.
think
he
so.
may have did it once.
I don't know,
That's
man.
a lot of money, man.
I don't know, man.
A lot
I mean,
of gas.
That's a lot of money to bring your car on a plane that you're actually on.
Yeah, but I mean, listen. It's hard without like all of the prices, right? Because 430
wanna
million
say-
can go fast. In a
I
way
want to
if
say
you're
the
not
range
careful
I've
about
heard
things.
is like 20 stacks every time you do it.
What?
It's not
Like
that bad.
to
Fly?
like to fly your
Yeah.
car, would you?
It's not that bad.
If you do that
When you have
everywhere he
$430 million and you have your own plane,
flies. So if you had to go to a new city every night, what do you? Every
I'm not
night
gonna
is
bring the-
20 grand out the whatever.
if
they
I'm
give
going
you?
every night, my likelihood is I'm not gonna like just roam the city. So I'm not gonna bring my car everywhere I go.
He said it.
You know what I mean?
I don't like the rent, so when I fly now, meaning if I flown,
Unless he like if he wasn't planning on renting in the first place, then you don't need the car. I don't know. But regardless, I'm going to come
I'm
up with a
just
list
saying.
of reckless things that I choose to do. And I'm going to come and get all of the people who I intend to give anything to in a room. And I'm going to be like, all right, this is what I'm going to do.
Godfather.
No. You're going to look at me like I'm crazy because at this point, my plan is that you would not know that I hit yet, right? And I'll be like, please check under your seats. And then I'll be like, everybody keep the totals to yourself. Not everybody's getting equal amounts.
not everybody's got enough. Everybody's got the same amount coming to them.
I'll be like, all right, everybody close your eyes. And in 5 seconds, reach under your chair. I'll be out of the room already.
Like in a helicopter.
Yeah, man. And then
So you would just say you would like literally Houdini it.
yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna get missing. You'll see me again probably, but like not for a while. I'm gonna be gone for a minute. And I think the first thing before I go out and like travel and see the world and do the things that I would like to do in the form of a trip, I'm definitely gonna go and just find a beach and post up for like a couple weeks, get some relaxation vibes happening.
All I want to do
Try
is
to come
have
to
a beach
terms with
under
the
me.
fact that I'm rich because I know my heart would be pumping through my chest as soon as I hit that shit.
Damn, for
Dude,
real.
that would definitely be something crazy. Like, that
Like-
feeling has to be
Like a
nuts.
half baked when he realized
know.
that he can go and sign for the weed and he just
I
nutted
also
right away.
feel like-
That would be me instantly.
I mean, realistically now, I think the first thing I would do is get a lawyer
Yeah, it's probably
and
smart.
go over all that.
A
Yeah.
legal team is important.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta have
strong
money set
legal
aside
team.
because
Yeah.
they don't take all of the taxes right up front. So you
Right.
gotta have money set aside so that when tax time comes, you can
Sure.
give the fucking government
Sure.
greedy bastards all the money that you have.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so we've spoken kind of responsibly. Let's get a little ignorant first. What's the first
Major purchase.
no, just not even major. Like the first, as materialistic a purchase as one can make. Purchase you do to
I'm gonna
you decide to make.
get a nice shiny watch,
Like-
maybe a nice
like
shiny
how much
gold
are you-
chain.
How much would you spend on these things? Does it matter?
I think I'd probably get a Rashard Mill.
I'll probably look at about $1 million for the watch. And,
$1 million for the watch?
$1 million for the watch.
Well, what
No, I'm not
I'm,
spending $1
I'm
million on
gleaming,
a
man.
watch.
Fuck all that
well, it
shit.
depends on what watch, because it is like some of these do appreciate it. At $1 million, you might get a watch that next year's 1.2, 1.3.
I get you.
Well,
And I'm
that's
getting
why
my big gold rope.
rich guys, rich people are wealthy. Think about that in a sense of investment now. Like some of these older classic cars and watches and things, they're like investments.
And honestly, probably
So $1 million is
probably
a lot.
before the jewelry.
But yo, you already have
Probably
like
before the jewelry,
413 more.
Yeah.
Before the jewelry, I'm probably gonna go and get some like guns and stuff. I'm going.
We got guns and shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on a day long shopping.
shit's got to be
spree.
protected.
One day
so.
long shopping. Spree.
Yeah, I would
I
live
don't-
life
I
like
don't-
blank check.
I don't think it'd be a like only a day though. I think
Oh no,
I'd
I would
like
always
a
spend.
week. No, I think like I'd take like 2-3 days to just kind of get what I want.
Yeah,
I would definitely do that. I think we're gonna go to the dealership
Because I would like
because you
section
gotta
it
drive
off by
places.
shit. Like I do like clothes and shoes one day, and then like cars one day, and then like electronics for the house or
just
something like
just
that.
picture the movie Blank Check. That's
yeah.
how I'm gonna live.
We gotta
You know,
slide.
I just have.
I would sneakers. I would just get on like Goat or StockX and just order everything.
Yeah, man.
My house would have boxes coming to it.
No, honestly,
I'd how many hundreds do I need to like fill the first quarter of this room so I can just jump in and like Scrooge McDuck?
You're gonna be Scrooge. Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, man. I think.
I mean, everybody should be able to swim in some gold coins once in a while.
Nah, I mean,
Though,
the gold
it's
coins would probably
unrealistic.
hurt. Yes,
It's very.
you're not gonna be able to like get in there because it's pretty dense.
Right.
That's why I said hundreds. Because I can like move the dollars out of the way and
I'm drowning. I'm in hundreds and I can't get out.
yeah, I think I would have just a celebration for like now. You know what? All right, this is what I would do. I'm throwing a big ass party. I'm not letting anybody know what the part of the party is, why the party's happening.
Adam, how did you afford this?
I'm flooding things with drinks and weed and all types of shit, and we're just gonna have a ball for like a 3-day party.
I'm gonna have a big ass. You have a big
And then
chocolate fondue
at some
and
point,
cheese fondue.
At some point in the party, you guys are gonna look
Everybody's
around and be like, "Where did he go?" And I'm gonna be just off on an island somewhere. So
already.
yeah, like the
You're not
day
gonna
2.
enjoy the party.
I'll enjoy the first day of the party, but then I'll be gone.
How long is the party?
3 days, something like that. You know?
3
We'll have a-
days.
we'll have a nice little
What
time.
makes you think people are gonna stay after you're gone? Like,
have-
anybody seen Adam?
I'm gonna have
like,
Dave tap the cake for me. We're gonna we're gonna have a
just
ball,
don't let
man.
Dave pump the first that first pour.
Nah, I think
And
you
it's
know
hilarious to have a keg at a fucking
people-
multi-million-dollar party.
I would do it.
we have to do that. Like, listen, I'm not sophisticated rich. I'm just rich. You know,
Be richy rich.
rich.
No, that'd be fun.
I think so.
I think that's a good goal. I think I'm gonna steal that. We're gonna have a party,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna
have
fly
a
people. I'm
party.
gonna fly people out to it.
Grab somebody.
Like,
body.
listen, I know you probably got work. This check should take care of whatever you're gonna lose. This check should take care of airfare.
I don't know how many
Here's
people are
some
going to be at the
spending
party,
money.
but the guest list will be very, very specifically crafted because
Yeah.
there's only going to be people who I really enjoy in general.
But you're not
that are
gonna be there.
you
You're
know?
gonna leave.
No. Yeah, but eventually I'm gonna be there for a while. Okay. You know, and plus I'm funding the party. I'm not just throwing it for a bunch of people. And if you bring guests that I didn't tell you can bring, you're leaving too. You know, that's just how it goes.
This party sounds like it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a ball.
I'm not coming. You gave me my money already, so I'm gonna go.
Well,
I'm gonna be on the
I
beach.
changed that. That it would be the party first. You know.
So you wouldn't even tell me that you won the lottery before, just to get.
You wouldn't even know.
So I wouldn't even know you left.
You wouldn't even know.
You son of a bitch.
Hey man, eventually you would know and you'd get what you got.
Sounds like
and,
he's
you know.
planned this.
He already knows. He was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. People.
I mean, while you guys were talking about your things, I was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea just to have a celebration.
I might buy a home in every island I go to,
I wouldn't buy a home. I would never buy a house.
and then
Build that shit for me.
then
You know,
Airbnb
this is
it.
what I want.
You
That's how-
Airbnb
yeah,
it after.
right.
Somebody,
So you buy it, you stay there for however long you feel like you want to be there. It's on the ocean.
I was just reading an
'Cause I'm
article.
not gonna live in the middle like some peasant.
some couple in Indiana. They had like a old school gym and they turned it into a residence,
An old school gym and turn it into
like
a
an old high school like gymnasium. You know,
How did they have an old high school gymnasium?
I don't know. I mean, Indiana's nasty. Probably just abandoned or nobody did anything with it. They bought it.
I just assume Indiana to be a barren land full of just old abandoned homes.
Listen, man. I'm not a fan of Indiana. I'm not a fan of Wisconsin. Most of the like connecting states around us are gross. So I just
Yeah, I mean,
Feel that way
yes,
about
more
it.
than likely. But outside of like the major metropolises,
yeah. I mean that's how
There's-
Illinois is too. Though.
it's
I
a
mean,
lot of red state going on.
Right.
that's how Illinois is. If it wasn't for the fact that Chicago is so densely populated, we'd be a Republican state.
They must hate the shit out of us just walking around fucking Chicagoans.
Well, fuck them. You know.
Fuck them too, man.
All right, we've gone 20 minutes. We should probably introduce ourselves.
You brought that topic up. You
Yeah,
knew that
no,
was
I know.
gonna
Of
go
course,
far.
we got an icebreaker topic. But welcome everybody to the show. This is the Kiona and Kasson podcast. I'm your host Adam here with my brother Osama, and my homie Dave.
What up?
Dog is here chilling. It's a little hot, so fan is going. If you hear that, whatever has been happening the last few weeks,
It's not as hot today.
it's hot.
It's just muggy.
I'm sweating. I don't
It's
know.
muggy
man.
outside.
98% humidity out there. Anyway, this is episode number 147.
Is that a fact?
It is. Yes, I checked before I got into shit.
Holy
you know?
shit.
146. You're always blown away by the number.
No,
we're
not
at.
the number of the
Oh, the
episodes.
98%.
98%.
Yeah, no, it's nasty out there.
Holy shit.
It is. It's bad. And you know, since I have had this issue where I can't breathe very well, it's not really helping. You
You
know?
gotta get yourself out to Arizona.
I got my inhaler right here.
Adam's an old lady.
No. Arizona, you're talking about Arizona 110 degrees. It doesn't matter if there's no humidity. I still feel like I'm dying.
But the air is not thick enough, too thick where you can't
Nah, but it's
breathe.
thick though. It's hot.
dry.
You know, it's hot
It's
though.
dry heat.
It is. I've been there a couple times, man. You know.
I know, but I'm saying like
If you go to
your
Phoenix-
breathing would be probably less affected by it than hot
Yeah, but I would
humid
still be
air.
melting and having heat stroke, so it's not something I want to do.
Everybody got
I don't know how
pools, though.
people live there.
They got pools.
I guess. I don't know, man. It's not a place that I would want to live personally. I could see why people go there, like for retirement. You know, like the weather's not too back and forth, and when you're old and going to cold and hot, it's not great. But it's not a place that I would choose. Like I wouldn't go to Florida. Most of the like normal places that people would go for retirement, it's not for me.
I want to be on an island. That's
I'm
all
trying
I know.
I just want to be somewhere where the temperature is between like 70 and 75 every day, and like the humidity's not really an issue. San Diego is a place
I was
like
gonna
that.
say San Diego's like
San Diego's like,
But it's
yeah.
expensive as shit.
Well, it's expensive here. You know?
Yeah, but
that's what I've.
it's actually more expensive somehow.
That's
in
what I've
San
determined
Diego.
about California is it's not too much more expensive than here, honestly. Like
Right.
if you go to Hawaii, that'll fuck you up. It's probably like, you know.
Yo, my barber's going to Hawaii. He leaves Tuesday.
Don't you hate when your barber leaves? What do you do when you don't have a barber around?
Well, luckily,
Just look like a scumbag.
he's not leaving for like years.
Majid,
it's
you
like
son of a bitch.
Majid is an asshole for those days. But he's leaving for I think they got like 7-day trip. So I got my haircut Friday, and then I got a haircut coming on the 20th. I was like, I'm just gonna schedule around your trip, bruh. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, as long as he's just going on vacation and he's not like uprooting his life.
Yeah.
Then
So
you have decisions to make. You know.
You know, you ever? So what I've realized is like I think, just like in everything else in life, you have to give everybody a margin of error, right? So like I think out of 1 out of 10 haircuts, you're not going to be completely as satisfied as you've been.
My man, you have shut down people for giving you one bad haircut. What you talking about?
No, not bad. Like
Like
so-
not up to your standards.
Yeah, once in a while, because I feel like we all have like they didn't do this specific thing the way I like them to do it. It just there's certain things that are
How vocal are you
inexcusable.
with your haircut though? Like you tell your barber like, hey, get this, make sure this is like, do you like
So,
direct him that way?
For the most part, I don't, because he knows where to go with it. And like, I generally feel like there's a deviation in a haircut. It's not always 100% the same as it was the last time, right? There's a little bit of a deviation and maybe some length. And I'd be like, I wish that I had hair where I could be like, yo, do what you like today. But that's not the case.
Right.
There's only like one haircut.
Well, also, like, how much do you trust somebody to be like, just do what you want with my head?
If
Like,
it's a good barber, I mean, let him have at it, man.
I mean, listen, at this point, Majid knows what my.
It's not a surgeon where there's only one way to do the surgery. You're like, hey, you know what, get a little crazy. I don't know, go through a different side.
Like, usually if I sit down in Majid's chair, he's like, same as usual, either that or I'll be like, you know what, do this time. Do this way, whatever. Like,
when I sit in the chair, if I want to do something different, I'll let him know. I'll be like, hey, this should get a little long trim today. Whatever, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I like just to sit there and enjoy being pampered in the only way I really allow myself to get that. You know what I mean?
well, why don't you allow yourself to be pampered in other ways?
The fuck else you mean? What am I doing?
I had that question. I was like, yo, what does a man's spa day look like? You know? Like, let's say you wanted to go and do a self-care day.
I get manicures and pedicures.
I don't do that. See, I don't know.
I do
Massages
pedicure.
and
Well,
shit like
I
I do
pedicures.
massage, but I guess that is kind of like
Mud
self-care.
baths,
The what is it?
mud baths,
Never done that.
sweat rooms.
There's a what's
Yeah.
that the sweat room or whatever on like Cicero or something like that.
Are we talking about
There's like
saunas or is it like a different thing?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean that's another thing. I don't have access to a sauna or anything, which I would like. But I mean more in regards to like I guess the manicure, pedicure, haircut, facial, and things in that realm. Only thing I do is get a haircut, really.
Yeah.
You know, I get a massage every 6 months maybe at the most.
You know, before the world started having like every pandemic imaginable, back in the day, the gyms that had saunas and shit like that, I'd like to use those things. Now I'm like, just nasty, funky people in here.
Nah, I'd get in the sauna if I could. I just
man.
Just
I'm good on
don't
that now.
have it.
I'm gonna live life differently now that everybody's gross. So, I mean, people have always been gross, but like now they're just like, if you're getting too close to them, you can contract something.
Yeah.
Monkeypox out here, you know, like nah, I'm
Shit is
good.
weird.
This monkeypox thing is a little nuts.
It's really
really
nasty, and like I get eczema, right, and like where my arms bend, and it used to be on the back of my legs. Luckily, it's not so much that way anymore. But like, if you start seeing a couple bumps pop up, you're like, oh shit, I think I got the pox. Start freaking out.
Right.
I don't like it.
The pox.
The pox. Is that the name of the episode this week?
Sure.
The pox.
This motherfucker right here, Dave.
Yep.
Hey man, you know?
He said that. Isn't it? Hey, we heard you, Ish.
Hey man, the JVP be biting us. You know?
Yo, I
Pause,
guess
we're
the only
applicable.
way to really know is if they're watching is to talk like this. So what you gonna copy next?
If y'all start talking about what you're doing with the lotto, I swear.
That's the first thing they talk about. No, man, that's bullshit.
They've been having too many guests.
All I
lately,
know,
too, man.
okay, so the in it part is like could be easily right. That could be. Everybody
no.
likes the English accent. It's funny.
But we
what
listen,
is
we went,
inexcusable?
we took 145 episodes before we started saying in it. So
guess.
they're 550 episodes in.
That's true.
And they haven't said in it.
All right. Well, that's true.
Governor.
But the inexcusable one to me is the pot about nothing. I came up with that fucking. I told Adam, you know, we're kind of like the Seinfeld of podcasts. We really
We'd have to go back to the episode and see because I don't know. I think that was kind of just like a.
No, it was me. I said.
I don't know.
I remember it. You were like, "That's actually a good." Yeah, I remember you told me.
maybe.
I was like, "Oh, I'm happy about that." And then next thing you know, Joe Budden titles his pod "The Pod About Nothing." You know what, man? I don't like that shit. Isn't it?
I don't like it when we.
It's Tuesday.
But see, that's how the entertainment world is. You know, there's people they bite things from lesser known acts.
Right.
Like listen, respect to Michael Jackson. I know everybody loves him, but he was not the first person to do the moonwalk. You know,
Who was?
I forgot what the gentleman's name is.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's another guy who was just snapping on his dancing and shit, and he was like, this came, 20 years before MJ did it? Some shit?
Something like that.
So, I mean, listen, it's a dope-ass move, and MJ kind of honed it and mastered the way all that shit was. He was an outstanding dancer, and it's
He
not
was just
easy.
a really good, like...
Just because you see somebody do the moonwalk doesn't mean you know how to do it. Like, it's hard to do still,
Yeah.
and make it look smooth.
MJ was pretty
So-
good at, like, altering his voice. And, like, if you think about it, like, his, like, inflections and, like, how high and how low he can get. Like, it was
True.
just really... That's some talent right there.
Yeah.
Because he would, like, he get that little gruff thing, like, "Chamow!" You know, like, the oh, man. I can't do it, obviously, so I'm not going to attempt to.
That just makes me think of a Rush Hour, you know?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so moving on from talking about nothing for a second.
Joe.
Have you guys heard about the Kanye beef with Adidas? And
Yeah, man.
do you read the text that he put out? Or whatever?
Yeah.
Have you
I have not.
seen it? All right, so I'll read it. It's kind of
Most Kanye
It's kind of
news
lengthy.
nowadays, I'm like, well, this seems like it's going to be taxing on my mental. So
Well,
I'm just
No, man,
gonna-
this guy's got a point.
I don't know who he sent this to.
I don't know what he said,
and it's
though.
kind of lengthy, but so it's basically his grievance with Adidas, right? Adidas made up the Yeezy Day idea without my approval, and then went and brought back older styles without my approval. Picked colors and named them without my approval. Went and hired people that worked for me without my approval. Stole my colorways without my approval. Stole my styles and material approaches without my approval. Went and hired a GM of Yeezy without my approval. Took talent on the production side and sprinkled them throughout Adidas originals without my approval. Even though they did a Balenciaga collaboration, they completely slowed down production on the shoes me and Demna developed for Gap by trying to bully Gap, even though my contract states that I can do casual shoes, which I was doing when I did fashion shows. When I originally ordered Adidas to make more Yeezy slides, the GM lied to my face and said they didn't have the capacity. Meanwhile, Adidas was copying my slides and making their own version of the Yeezy slide.
Wait. So
Yeezy,
isn't
hang on, it's
he-
almost done, one sentence. Yeezy is 68% of Adidas' online sales. God step in.
Okay, my question is, in terms of creative control, because obviously this is a collaboration between two entities at this point. Kanye is an entity.
Yes.
What, I mean, do they have this? Do they have the right within their this contract to go ahead and use? Because it's weird to me. He's like reuse the like.
But I would think if he's-
older shoes or
if he's
brought back
quoting,
older shoes, if it's Adidas in their right to do that because it's an Adidas shoe.
I don't think it would be in his best interest to quote parts of the contract that benefit him and then not actually acknowledge if they were contractual on Adidas' side. So I'm assuming that without his
Exactly.
approval is necessary, is an important part.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know how, to what extent, but it's just weird that they as their brand, they can't decide to re-release older shoes just based on what he wants. I don't know. It's weird to me. I'm not saying he's wrong.
Well, isn't his contract with Adidas over? I thought he was going back to Nike now,
that was
right?
my next question. What is he mad because he's no longer with Adidas?
And he's not going to see profit from them and making, because I think what I really gained from this is outside of all the other shit, they're basically copying some of the styles he put together
Right.
and branding them as Adidas products instead of Yeezy products.
Like, it's a complete rip.
I don't
It's a
understand
complete
the relationship.
rip of his shoe.
It's a weird relationship.
But I don't understand the relationship at all.
There's shoes, running shoes, all that.
Why would they?
Wouldn't those
why would
design
they release
concepts be
those?
copywritten?
That's what I'm thinking.
Why would they release those if they could just release more Yeezys? How much is he getting out of that? That's a
gotta
lot
think
of
that-
stuff that we don't know.
I gotta
about
think that
in
it's
terms of
contractually
contract.
allowed, because if not, then it would be lawsuits out the ass, right?
Sure.
Lawyered up and Adidas be in court, or maybe he's like, it's not worth my
That's what I'm
energy to
saying.
try to bring Adidas to court.
Is it contractually within their right to do that? Because if not, you would think that Adidas, such a huge company, would know better than to do certain things than that, right?
I would
Because
think
it's
so.
Kanye. It's not Joe Schmo. Kanye got $1 billion. He can battle
Got a few
you.
billion probably at this point.
Yeah, he can battle you financially. He can
Right.
get the resources. So I don't know that Adidas would do that without really knowing whether or not it was in their right to do it.
Well, and Adidas, I'm sure, also has great lawyers that are making sure loopholes are covered and
yeah,
they're
and that's
able
what
to
we
do
were
these
talking about
things.
even with tax law.
Yeah.
Remember, if you have the people that understand these loopholes,
Maybe it's just like
how to
a-
navigate it correctly, then you don't got to worry.
maybe it's just a business practice thing. And he's like, yo, I would think that based on our relationship, you wouldn't go and do this, turn
That's
around and fuck me over.
possibly true.
But maybe they're also like, I also would think that you wouldn't have left us and went back to Nike, I think there's layers to this.
All of that sounds messy.
It just a lot. That's the
I
problem
think
with
there's layers to
Kanye with Kanye's
always
situations. It's always some sort of mess.
He's got to be happy now that Kim and Pete broke up.
Yeah, they broke the fuck up. But I just hated it because everybody was actively rooting against Pete. He did some weird things, but he seemed like he was just a young dude that got the chance to get fucking the pussy that everybody really kind of wanted. So
It's so funny that was, forgive my verbiage here, but it's one of the most sought after pussies. And considering the reason that she was on the map was because of a sex tape to begin with, right? It's there's not a mystery of that pussy. It's like, oh man, Ray J had this shit.
why are
it looks like it was
people
good?
so mad at him for doing what most dudes would do? Right? All the girls I can't believe him, and the guy's like, yeah. Man, I wish I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do it either. I would.
The problem with that,
I would do it.
The problem with anything involving the Kardashians is like they're so high profile and they have show on TV and everything that they do is in the public eye that like even if she was like moving on and having her little rebound man or whatever it was, everybody was gonna know about it. And Pete Davidson is a man of high profile. Like everybody knows who he is, especially now.
Yeah,
you know?
especially now.
But
They said that Kanye lost his 5th divorce lawyer.
yeah, I saw that they dropped him again.
Like, listen, Kanye, I don't know if you know this, but we can't ask for her actual heart back. Like, but I want it. That was a good joke, man. Why
No, that was for Kanye, not for you.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
I was like, it's misleading to the people, man.
Well, there you go. I expect.
I got it.
But that to me strikes something like Kanye would put in a contract, like actual heart, her real one in her chest.
Well, I mean,
I want it.
did you see like the Keeping Up with the Kardashians episode where he fucking proposed to
Tried?
her?
Kanye.
He went all out for that shit. You know, he rented
When
the
he-
Giant Stadium, the San Francisco, you know, whatever, and he like hired like a 30-part orchestra, and he it was for her birthday as well, so it didn't seem so much. And then proposed to her in front of the family, and
All this shit is so stupid to me, man.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I wish
People
I
in
could.
Hollywood
I do wish
not
I
stay
could.
together, man.
Nah, it's not really. I don't think it's easy because you do a lot. So I think one of the factors is in Hollywood, a lot of the times the roles require you to become close to somebody. Maybe not even like intimately, but like you become.
well, I mean, they did
you were-
Saturday Night Live sketch, so it's not quite the same thing.
What are you talking about? Like
Kim and Pete.
Well, that is another thing where kind of like that the first they kissed, right? And that's another example of what happens in Hollywood. If the requirement is a kiss or whatever, you might get sparks. Like, oh, well, I like this person now. I wonder what that tastes like.
Well, I'm sure he was assuming what it might taste like before that. you know?
True, and then he was able to. So who's fucking mad at him that he did it?
Well, I mean, listen, again, like we're doing weird things like
He's literally
tatting the kids' initials and
he's
shit
like-
like that. Some of the things were a bit weird.
He's
you
like
know,
a
but-
C-list celebrity at best. C-list, maybe D. Maybe D.
Well, I mean, listen, Saturday Night Live. Let's not sleep on his impact on Saturday Night Live. It was
yeah,
very,
but he was just an SNL character.
it's true. But a lot of people started as
where would you
SNL
see?
characters.
C-list?
Probably C-list, I guess. You know, I don't know.
So he's probably C-list.
What does the
B-list,
C-list
mean? All I'm saying-
B-list is pretty bad, so
Yeah,
I would consider him B-list.
I think he's probably less
Like
known than
who's
that.
like who's B-list?
But what dictates the ABCs? Like, is it just like how popular you are, or
I would
like
say-
the profile of work that you do?
I'd say
like, what is that?
B-list would be like Sudeikis and things like that from Saturday Night Live.
What?
Because they've been in more movies. They're more well known than he is.
Jason Sudeikis is A-list.
I don't think
He
so.
gets paid a lot of money.
Is there limited spots for A-list? You get
No.
like there's like 30
No, it-
celebrities.
I
you
think
can
we
fit
gotta
there.
reserve
all that,
A-list.
all that depends on your talent as an actor and how much you make, I would imagine.
I think you got to
comes into
reserve
that.
A-list for like the Rocks and the Kevin Harts and like the Hardys,
The
of
Leonardo
world.
DiCaprios and Brad Pitts and
yeah.
them shits.
Because there's a difference here. If we're
Yeah.
talking about like the MJs,
But at what point
who's-
does that change? Because,
if MJ's a
you know-
tier A, right, or A-list for this argument,
Is it like who's hot for the moment though? If you're on
Can
the
you
A-list,
become
are you
A-list
forever A-list now?
temporarily?
That's what I'm saying. If you're A-list, are you now A-list forever?
Like in school when you were like an 88 and then you did well and you were a 91, but then you're back to
Like-
fucking up and you
like-
get an 88 again.
Like once the whole thing with Johnny Depp's trial, right? And like everybody was dropping his deals and shit. And then the trial went and he won, and they were like, all right, let's give him all his deals back. I think he was off the A-list for a minute. You know,
I think
he
he
wasn't
was
like
off
they
B-list
weren't
in
automatically
general.
giving him big fucking. No, I don't think so.
He was on the shit list.
Well, there's a list.
Yeah, but it's not the one you want to be on.
All right, well, I don't know, but I thought that was an interesting thing for. I'm not a huge Adidas person, even though I have the old Bulls. You know, they did the Bulls gear for a while.
They were doing the NBA for a little bit actually.
Well, yeah, but specifically they did the Bulls, and the Bulls switched back to Nike. And
But I don't think individual teams can switch
I think
without
they
the
can, though.
league. No, I don't think so. I think it's a league, decided sponsor essentially. I think because Nike does it now. I think right,
well, Nike, yeah, but
Nike throughout the league. It's not like
I mean, again, the only like basketball apparel I buy is Bull stuff, so I don't really know about the other shit anyway. To be honest,
okay.
I don't know. I do have a Knicks jersey in there.
Well, then you just fucking lied.
It was a Derrick Rose one.
Big fucking. This guy's a fucking phony.
Hey man, it's a Derrick Rose one. All right, it's
a
like.
big fat phony.
He's a big fat phony.
But I'm saying I can eventually go in there and check and see if there's a Nike logo on there.
I do wish I would have bought every Rose jersey from
Nah.
every team. just to have it.
Certain
like
things.
I think
he was on like 3 teams for like a day and then switched.
Not really.
Not worth
So
it.
what he was?
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was on. He went from the Bulls
He was in
to
Cleveland,
Minnesota.
He was in Detroit. He was
No, he
in-
didn't go to Minnesota first, right? He went to Cleveland first.
No, he went to New York first.
New York, Cleveland, Minnesota,
Uh-huh.
Detroit, New York, and now where?
I think he's in New York still.
I think he's gonna get traded. He's just gonna be a piece of
Probably.
a piece of a trade.
You know, listen. As long as he is able to like play ball, do his, have a good time out there, and not.
It's
He had
important
the
to
weight
not
of-
keep those expectations.
He had the
as
weight
high
of the
as they
world
used
on
to
his
be.
shoulders here. I mean, you're putting on for your city, and you're like, you got the youngest MVP. Like, there's a lot on your back as a young Derrick Rose.
Have you heard that question that's been posed? Would you take Ja Morant or prime Derrick Rose?
Prime Derrick.
Prime D Rose all day.
There wasn't like he was
he was a
expertly-
fucking killer.
Yeah. He was a Windy City Assassin. That's what his nickname was. You know?
Too big, too fast, too strong.
Too good, Stacey King. All right.
Even our announcers during that time were dope. Neil
Yeah,
Funk
man.
and Stacey King.
Yeah, then Neil Funk is no longer an announcer for the Bulls.
Been defunct.
It kind of sucks, man. I was like,
I
I
think
don't know who the guy that Stacey King. I think his name is also Adam. So I was going that way, but the new guy that Stacey King is with, I don't like it so much. The dynamic isn't the same.
I don't like the word. I don't like the name Adam either. It's pretty terrible.
Fuck you. Listen, I wouldn't have named myself that. All right, what do you want me to do?
Nobody's gonna talk about what you wouldn't have been named, okay, motherfucker?
If you can choose your name, would you have chose Osama?
Probably not. It's not like it's not like that's a name. I probably would have like definitely not thought about that name specifically. But again, it's a weird question to ask one.
What would you want your name to be?
What would you name your first
That's
kid?
a weird question actually. To ask
What would you name
myself.
your first kid? Would it be Osama Jr.?
No, I don't think I would never have. I wouldn't have a junior just based off of that, probably. But no, I don't have no idea what I would name. I'd rather be named. Pride in me says nothing because this is my name.
Right.
But to ask somebody what they would have named themselves when they
Well,
were
that's
born,
why. That's why.
It's
that's
like,
why I said
well-
first child, because it's like a projection. Hey, this is I couldn't name myself, but what I would my kid's first name to be. And eventually, you're gonna have to answer that question.
I don't know.
in real life.
I mean,
When you come
maybe.
back here when you figure it out.
I'm pretty sure I'll still be here. But
Well, I mean, come back and tell the camera. is what
I
I'm
have
saying.
no clue. All right, and again, to put myself in the situation of coming out the womb, like, man, I hope they name me.
Well,
Like,
it's not the way it works.
do you think in the womb you can hear like things coming out that are
Well,
outside
you
of
can
it?
certainly hear
everything.
things.
You hear everything?
You're only separated by a layer of skin.
Yeah, but it's just like
And a
you ever
placenta,
jumped
I
in
guess.
water? I would assume it's like
muffled.
what you hear from
Muffled. Yeah.
Yeah.
like, that's what I
Well,
expect.
you got to
hear.
think like as
Like
you're
the Muppet
developing,
Baby thing.
As you're developing, it goes from like a really super muffled to slightly less muffled, and then you just come out and you're like, what the fuck?
So you're telling me that as you develop ears, you start to hear better? What
Well,
about
yeah,
when
of
there's no
course.
ears? It's just
Then you don't hear
nothing?
shit. No. How are you gonna hear without an ear?
I don't know. Apparently the
You can't. The
umbilical cord.
question is answered already.
Is it the umbilical cord? Is
No,
that the answer?
that's how you eat.
Maybe it's how you hear too. Like it goes straight to the belly button. It's like a speaker.
No.
It's like an
don't think
aux
it works like that.
cord, if you will.
An aux cord.
It's like that for food, yes, but not for hearing,
How do you know?
because the receptors and all that is not in your stomach. I mean,
All right. Well, if that's what you say, I'm no
I mean,
I'm
listen,
no
I only know so
scientist.
much. I only know so much. You know? All right, well, let's talk about this Drake shit real fast, and then we can go on break because we're
Drake
getting
shit?
in there. He also put out a small message to his fans. He said, "I am truly devastated to say, I tested positive for COVID, and the Young Money reunion show scheduled for tonight is being rescheduled to the soonest, in all caps, date possible. I will keep the city posted and share the new date whenever we have it locked. Until then, I hope everyone stays safe and healthy, and I love you all, and I'm sorry for letting you down on our weekend together. And the moment I test negative, I will give you everything I got on stage except for COVID."
You are about to see him win the championship.
Let me just tell you,
at his Drake house.
When I first
again
read this
weekend,
when
like
I first
he's been
read this,
doing.
I said he's not truly devastated. He's not sorry. My man's been out everywhere, vacationing, getting in the mix.
The
Of
way-
course, you're gonna get COVID.
the
You know what
way-
we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So artists definitely are developing to a point where like there's a lot of opportunities outside of music nowadays. And music, like T-Pain said that he's made more money off of Twitch in the last year than he's made in his career.
He's really smart with his money.
Oh, T-Pain is, and he not only that, it is he may be one of the funniest people to watch. Like
Sure.
some of the shit, the way he talks is like
Right.
You ever see his podcast? Like, he's just a really funny guy.
They were talking about him like doing a chocolate drop of shit with Kevin Hart back in the day.
Oh shit! I forgot about Chocolate Drop.
Well, chocolate drop was Kevin Hart's name. I forgot what
Right.
T-Pain went by at the time, but
I remember there used to
Those
be
videos
things-
were funny.
There were some quotables. I don't remember now, but
roof of my mouth is hot.
yeah.
That's the main one.
I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say about it?
I don't know. Give me some
probably-
reactions.
he probably
That's what we
is.
do here. Give you a take.
Listen, I don't know. I just think that he's not sick. He's like I said. If you watch Drake's story,
Would you
on
be
Instagram-
excited for a Young Money reunion tour?
No,
What does that even look like?
I don't care.
Is
I'm
that just
not really a fan.
Is that like does that include Nicki Minaj?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
She's
So-
like one of the main people.
Nicki, Lil Wayne,
Tyga.
Oh yeah, Tyga. I don't really know much about his music. I would like to see
I'll
Wayne.
tell you the only
I'd
thing
go-
about
I'd
Tyga
maybe
is
some
that
old
taste
Nicki.
video.
I would
That shit
love to
was
see
beautiful.
Wayne
I wanted
live.
to taste too.
I seen
Just
Wayne
every-
live once. Which is
In the Tyga video, for the taste, get a taste. You can get a taste.
what?
The video.
Yeah,
Can
the
you
video
say,
of
can you
that.
do it one more time,
No,
please.
I mean, you can just hear it back when you watch the
No,
pod.
no. Just do it one more time for the people. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know how to.
Well, no, do it how
actually
you
go.
did it. I want to hear how you did it because that was
taste.
that,
You can get a taste.
Something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, whenever I went, every time I
he was
go
like,
to get a
"Taste, you
haircut,
can get a taste.
every time I go to the video, every time I go get a haircut, Majid has that fucking playing on the thing.
For real?
Yeah, and I'm like, I like ass, so I ain't really mad at the video.
Majid
you know
is
what I
just
mean?
a horny old barber. That's what he.
He is.
Dude, that's
true.
the funniest thing I've heard. Do one more time.
No, shut up.
Taste, you can get a taste.
There you go.
That's
see?
exactly it.
Yeah,
Such a great thing, man. I don't know why that, but
because
Taste, you can get
apparently
a
it
taste.
takes you on a,
can you?
on a
Can,
journey.
is there a possibility that you can cut that and put that on one of the?
Is there a
one
possibility?
of the pants?
Yeah, there's a possibility, but will I do
We'll
it?
be like, taste, get it.
Probably
taste."
not. All right, so I mean, I don't know how you felt about the whole Young Money click in the first place, but would you be excited to watch that?
No.
Are you disappointed that
Because
Drake
you'd
has
have to buy a
COVID?
ticket to see all of them, and I don't really want to see all of them.
Yeah, it would be a long concert because you know you'd have to wait for Wayne.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Drake in concert though. Drake's decent.
I would assume he'd be probably pretty good in concert.
I'd imagine so.
Earlier Wayne too, you know.
It would.
Well, so Wayne and Drake.
Yeah.
Wayne is a given. I would definitely want to see that.
The issue is, they're going to be the closers, so you have to go.
they would
through
do a lot of things
all-
together.
It's like going to a concert and listening to all the opening acts, and not all of them are really enjoyable.
Half
I
of
gotta
them is
think
really
though,
bad.
they'd probably bring out some high profile guests that were on songs with them and shit. Like Chris
Probably.
Brown would probably be there a couple times.
I don't know.
You know, you might have Baby like.
Getting a
I
hand
really
rub.
don't want to see him.
No, me neither. But I mean, it's
some
like
respect
when
on
you go
my
to a
name.
festival, you don't want to see everybody,
I
but
get
you pay for the people you want to see.
The
Good.
only festival that's happened recently I would love to go see is the Lovers and Friends. They had that one in Vegas.
Yeah, right.
If they keep going and hopefully do some dates next year, I might try to take a weekend trip out to Vegas
Yeah, man.
to peep that. Can you imagine that? They said that everybody was there.
I believe it.
Listen, there's one.
I would have no voice by the end of the night. I would be just singing and rapping the whole night.
For real.
Lil
Well,
Jon.
Let's close the first half with this. Wu-Tang and Nas are combining for a tour called the New York State of Mind.
I'm going.
When is that?
September.
Here?
It says tour 22, so I'm sure there's a few. Yeah, but
Pretty sure September.
22 of this year? Like next month?
well,
Yeah.
this is 22.
When did it start?
I don't know. I don't think it started yet.
They're playing.
Oh, okay.
Tour starts this month, so
they're
August.
playing Tinley Park. So it's
Tinley
outside.
Park? Oh, is that at what, like Toyota Field or whatever
I
that
don't
is?
know. I'm not sure.
I've never really.
Probably that's like one of their bigger venues.
That's probably going to be
Oh, I'm
dope.
going to that.
That's
Pre-
gonna be
presented
dope.
by Live
'Cause I've-
Nation.
I-
We get high
I've-
as shit.
I've
Get
been-
your tickets.
So I've seen Nas. I've seen Nas. Me and Adam actually. We've seen Nas twice together, right?
Mm-hmm.
At House of Blues.
Yeah.
I've seen Wu-Tang. Were you with us? I saw Wu-Tang perform at the Metro, which is a nice show to see them. It's kind of intimate, you know.
Saw Joe Budden at the Metro. This is the only.
No, we didn't. We saw him at
Are you sure? Because
Yeah, it
I'm
was
pretty sure
at,
it's the only place that I saw.
Sub T. We saw him at Sub T.
So who do we see at the Metro?
We saw. I seen Rakim at. You saw Rakim with us actually at the Metro. That was cool. Except motherfucker came out mad late.
Damn.
Like so late.
That works.
Like so late. I almost wanted to leave. I was
How it
like, I
works,
don't even wanna
man.
be here.
You know, when you're gonna go to a rap concert, they're not on time. And I don't know if it's their fault or whose fault it is, but motherfuckers be late. I don't go to concerts expecting to be out of there at a time that makes sense. So.
Right.
Last concert I was at was Griselda, and before that, Mad Years. Before the last one, I couldn't tell you.
When did you go to Griselda concert?
right before COVID. That
That was
February,
with
right before COVID.
Vivi's,
Yeah, he performed.
Right.
He still be doing the thing.
Oh,
He was at
right,
he did
Something
Summerfest.
like that.
No, it's her sister's brother-in-law.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, he still be performing. He was at Summerfest this year, and
Dope.
I haven't seen live performance in music in some time.
yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily on my biggest like list of things to do, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people that I still want to see, but obviously, like,
Hova.
those motherfuckers is
My
expensive.
dad actually just bought us tickets for my birthday to go see Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I've never seen them live. So
That's pretty cool.
dope.
It's not somebody who's on my list, but
No, I get that. Yeah,
But to check 'em
it's
out-
definitely on my list though. Yeah.
No, that would be a cool. I mean, that's a pretty cool bucket list item for a lot of people I know. So that's dope.
Word. All right. Well, hey, let's continue this in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Memorable as everything else, you know.
I think that just fits into a lot of what your expectation is about, like, growing up, right? Like, as being an adult and, you know, going downtown and then the lights and the atmosphere and the vibe and
It's
all of it
glitz
is
and
just,
glamoury. That
it's all different than what actually, like, the reality of it is different, right?
Right.
Like, from an aesthetic point of view, from a secondhand perspective, watching, like, you know, whatever, you see the shows and shit that depict how going out is. And again, you're right. Like, it changes, right? It's not going to stay constant. The world and the environment, the fucking hot shit changes. So it's not all going to
Hot
be
shit.
consistent.
the hot shit
It
changes.
is, you know.
It-
But like before you're in it, before you're in it, it just looks different. Or you expect different things,
Yeah, I mean,
or you think that like going to the club and getting laid is a lot easier than it actually turned out to
that
be.
is,
like,
I think, that is factual. I think movies lead you to believe that you are going to
Right.
get laid. Dude, it was probably like a 99% chance you weren't gonna get laid.
like I was on today and I still didn't get laid.
Like, man, I thought, like, I wore my best shit. I went out there. I know I smelled good. I was buzzed, but not too buzzed. You know, I had my game going, had the eyes locked, and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
That's how it would work out. But I just remember those nights. You'd be like, yo, like the little, well, it was just text message then. It wasn't a whole bunch of group chats and things like
Right.
that. But you would just get everybody gonna meet here, cool. And I just remember those nights where you just get up together to pregame and, you know, and you're just like, all right, this is gonna be my night. It's my birthday. I'm gonna make sure I get some pussy tonight. And that 99%
Expectation
of the time,
versus reality, man.
What it is, yeah.
you know, there's a lot of things in life, expectation versus reality.
Damn near everything. I don't
Like-
think it's. I think everything.
Like you buy something, you're like, oh, this is gonna be the greatest purchase of my life.
And not to say that sometimes reality isn't better. You know.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
a
true
little bit
too.
better.
I think to give reality some sort of credit, you should also say that it can also be better than expectation.
Yeah. I mean, it's just oftentimes it's not. You know, that's all it is. But
Yeah,
that's because like you romanticize things. It's like human nature to like build things up in your head a certain way and
Counting your eggs before they hatch.
yeah, that type of thing. You know, like I expect it to be like this, and you go in there hoping and anticipating it, and you're just, no, it's not that.
Do you got like an example? Because I mean, like think about like okay, so I think a lot of things the expectations we build up for, you know, fill in the blank, whatever we're speaking about, come from a lot of like culture, like movie culture or TV, and so you see like
Or just word of mouth, like people telling you things, and it might be
what you should expect in high school.
because you have to remember also it's different from person to person. So like your experience is not my experience, but you maybe had a good
Like,
experience. For me, it was shit.
Right. Imagine like, you know, you got somebody who's telling you like, just remember, be careful in high school, man. You get beat up right around every corner, and you go to high school and you're just like. And then every corner you walk around, you're just getting dapped up, and you're like, "This is not that person."
But then you also there are people who get beat up at every corner.
around
you know?
every
So
corner.
it's like-
Yeah,
That's true.
and that might be a person.
So when
that
you
did
get to
that.
walk through the hallway and you're dapping everybody up, you feel like a fucking superstar, and there's another kid who's just looking at you like, "You son of a bitch."
You know, that's a good.
I would like a high
that's-
five.
That's probably a good perspective. I wouldn't claim myself to have ever been like popular in high school, really. But like, I would also you got to think about that. There was an even less popular guy or girl than you were.
But I felt popular walking through high school. The thing is, after
Well,
like
because
after
there's
the
so
day,
many people you know at some point. Like, you're
But
just
as the-
like,
as the
I shook
day-
20 hands today. I know 20 people.
and it wasn't even that. It's like on the low end. But I mean, like outside of like the day's over and I'm at the crib, I don't have that many phone calls coming through. But like I'm walking through the halls, I'm talking to mad people, I'm dapping people up. Like
You were on
I'm
the
in
phone?
circles.
Just walking through the phone.
No, I mean like after school is done, type of
Adam's the
shit.
coolest guy in high school. Yeah, man. After I get out of here, we can go ahead. Yeah, what's up? Listen, man, I'm on the phone. You got
No,
teachers.
I mean,
Adam, you got to get off the
outside
phone.
of,
Fuck you.
like at the end of the day when I'm done with school and I'm at the crib and shit, like not blowing up the same way is all I'm saying.
Right.
Like there's in school popular and not school day is over popular. You know.
That's
There's
probably
different
true.
levels.
You know, you go home and you're in the center of the storm. It's all
And it could
quiet.
be just the way you isolate yourself at that point, right? Like I've been around people all day, tired of y'all.
Yeah, it's actually unfair to have them take you to school for a whole work shift.
It's
8
unfair to
hours
take me for a whole work shift.
It's 8 hours, and like they don't even really teach you a lot.
Sure.
Think about that for a
But that's
second.
hindsight, though.
Remember, what do you remember from like?
You didn't want to learn when you're in high
history-
school most of the time.
History was all bullshit back then, right? They are still because they don't teach everything, right? I guess now they're trying to be more aware of things, but back then they didn't teach us the right history, really. Like,
It's because-
or it was selective history. What is
That's
it?
what it was.
Revisionist history.
Right.
Mhm, of course.
That's what they taught us.
That's what they do in America.
Math. They
Don't get the
made
whole
up
story.
things. Trigonometry. That's not real.
Right.
But I mean, listen, that's
There was
that's
no-
also partially because there's no interest in that. Like you're forced to take these classes, and the more exciting thing about the high school environment is the social aspect. You're like, my boys are here. The bad women are all over
Yeah,
the place.
literally.
Like, that's what I come here for.
Somebody once explained it to me about the girls in high school: is you'll never be in a place for that in a place
many women your
with
age
that
again?
many hot women at one time in your life ever again.
That you actually realistically are
Right.
in reach of.
If you're in high school, you're like, holy. He told me it in high school. I was like, son of a bitch.
In high school, and then you're like, man, that's true.
Right.
do
Well, in college, college campuses are a little different. Like everybody's got such a different schedule that you don't see everybody at the same time. In high school, it's just the bell rings and everybody's like a bunch of cockroaches trying to get to their next little place so they can hide.
And that's why, as you're walking through the hallway, you dap people and keep it moving because you ain't got time to sit around and talk to everybody.
We had 4 minutes at Lane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's a big school for 4 minutes.
Right.
4 fucking minutes. How long was your passing period?
Well, I went to 2 high schools. Taft, I think, was 5, right?
No, it was 4.
Oh, was it?
4?
Yeah.
But it's a
Taft-
smaller high school, right?
Yeah.
I'll never forget the
Well,
day
actually, I
we
went to
came and
3.
we came when we were trying to get something done for Adam, and we're walking up to a side door, not even an entrance, and Dave comes walking past with his book bag, and he looks. And he's like, yo, what up? And you let us in. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
You opened the door for us. Like, literally, we just got into a high school
Yeah, I
without
think I was
any
like-
security.
Which is funny because in the morning they make you go through the
You're like,
security
"All right, I
entrance.
gotta
You
go
have to
to
walk by
Oh,
the
totally.
you know the metal detectors every day in the morning. So and if you come in the
That was a
afternoon,
big
apparently
thing.
you can circumvent that.
That's the funniest thing. Dave was like, all right, I got to go to class. And we were
Yeah,
just
I
like,
remember
"All
that.
right."
I think like I was off during the day for some reason. And I had to go to my locker for some shit.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Nobody questioned one thing about it.
There was not a single like staff member anywhere
I
near
was
us.
in there. I think who else? I think maybe James or somebody else was like in there with us that shouldn't have come with us. It's hilarious.
But it's funny because high school is the first, like if you grade school, whatever, you're hanging out with your boys is all normal shit, right? And high school is like the first kind of degree of separation. Like you click off a little bit. Like you still cool with them maybe. Like Glenn, for instance, right? Glenn, he was I think in maybe like 2 classes that I had in Palmer at any given time. So whatever. But when we got to Taft, like he had his own type of shit
Was he
happening.
art?
had, huh?
Was he like an art guy?
Nah, I mean,
Was that a difference? Was that a thing in town?
Glenn had like a
Like to decide.
Glenn, you can picture Glenn as like the ego guy in high school, right? Like
Really?
he was on a basketball team, but he didn't feel like he needed to go to practice. Like he wasn't prompt to classes, like just wandering around doing his thing. So I would see him randomly on the staircase, like, oh, what's happening? You know, we talk for a minute, and I'm like, yo, I think we're supposed to be in class like 5 minutes ago, like.
Right.
But that's just like in grade school, obviously, they're just bullshitting and fucking.
Yeah.
There's not a sense of urgency. We're not like getting off to our other groups of friends type of shit. Like we were all in the same group. High school is different. You click off more.
Do you remember the first person you met? Like, I mean, not that you have to have the name or whatever, but do you remember the first person you encountered in high school?
I remember going to like orientation to sign up for classes.
Orientation was weird, wasn't it?
And I ran-
Do you remember
well,
orientation
yeah.
for high school?
At Taft, it was funny because obviously like high school now you're talking people from different grade schools is now converging in one place. So people who I went to Disney with,
Converging.
who I hadn't seen for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like they were like, "Oh, you're," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And we started talking. And I'm like,
From Disney?
Yeah. So I like re-meet people from Disney. There was a couple of people.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I remember orientation was like a week long. Does that make sense to you? 3 days.
I feel
4
like that's a
days?
bit long,
so.
but
And you were there for like
It was something
like not a full day, but it was like you just I
You go there and you pick your classes
Now
type of
looking
thing.
back, it seems a little bit excessive for just getting me to come to school again. I've done this for already 13
They gotta
years.
hit you with your locker and the locker code to get in and shit.
Man, yo, like honestly, when I think
Get
about
your
that,
gym
it's
uniform
weird to
and
think
whatnot.
about. Like it takes me back to a whole nother place. Like
True.
almost into like you know how music is I forget what the phrase they use, but it basically can bring you back to a specific time, place,
Yeah.
energy, feeling, smell. Whatever it is.
I don't know if it's like that anymore, but it used to be like that. Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
You mean like this music we're listening to now? Will it?
Yeah, because like back in the day, if an album came out, you had it in your car. You knew what year that came out. It brought you back to like freshman year. I know Lloyd Banks'
That's
Hunger
valid.
for More was
That's
out,
valid.
so I was listening to that a lot. Like
That's valid, actually.
I don't think that happens so much today.
Because I think the
Everything
experience
is-
of it, you had to go to the store to buy the album.
It's much more
You had
fleeting
to
now.
rip that shit open, pop it in.
It's more fleeting now. Like music has a moment, and it's literally a moment. Where it used to be like this album, I'm rocking with it for like 6 months.
Yeah, because they release something almost every 6 months nowadays.
And that's why I knew all the Jay-Z lyrics.
So fleeting.
The album came out, and it was on fucking repeat. I didn't have like my whole catalog in my phone.
Plus, they gave you the lyrics too.
that
That too,
too.
Not,
CDJ.
not all albums, but
Oh, I would be
Yeah.
so angry. I'd be like, why can't you just put the lyrics?
yeah, man.
Just do it. I used to. This
Like,
is like
especially
literally how I used to have
Especially
these
when you're
conversations
debating in
my
your head, like, what did he say there? Was it
Exactly, man.
Having lyrics was dope. I cannot wait to have a place where I can, like a room that I can just set up everything. I was thinking about it today. I have so many double XLs that I thought this is weird nerd music shit. I cannot wait till I have a shelf that I can put them up chronologically.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna spend that day. I'm gonna visit me a little dispensary, and I'm gonna sit on that in my room, and I'm just gonna sit there and just categorize it. And I'm gonna have the greatest fucking afternoon you ever can have.
No, I get you.
And at the end of it, I'm gonna look at it and be happy and satisfied, and then it's gonna just get dusty and whatever. But for that day, I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I made a whole day out of organizing the CDs here.
I remember
That's dope.
I did it, and then I had bought a shelf from Best Buy, right? And it was like this deep, but like it was probably 6 feet tall, and it was meant for CDs and DVDs. And I was like, word! I spent.
And they're still hanging off the edge because it's not wide enough.
I spent hours, right? So one day I was moving shifting my room around, and I go to grab it, and the middle part is probably its weakest point because it's basically two of these put together, and it cracked, and it was like this, and I was holding it like a dying old friend, and I was just like, no. Don't go.
Remember when I was trying to build
It
that
fell
shit?
on my bed, and
Remember-
I just looked at it.
Remember when I bought one? I was trying to build it and love them. It took me hours. It was like backwards.
Adam doesn't know how to do things sometimes.
No, I was intoxicated.
But dude, I remember almost crying. I was just like, what am I gonna do without you?
Yeah.
I have so many of you DVDs and CDs. Where do they go? And they've never found ever a more amicable place to be placed.
Your house was like my first example of having all that multimedia organization. Having like the CD
parents, my
towers and
brother,
shit. Yeah. That's when I was like, I should get organized.
Yeah.
You know what I should do? No, I had yeah, that's maybe true because our parents weren't like they had CDs, but my mom was like they were just everywhere.
They didn't have, like, well, they had that big
Pops listened
entertainment
to
center.
Arab music, so it's like he only had a few of those CDs just laying around.
Gotcha.
Little Garth Brooks, little
Yeah.
Lionel Richie.
Oh shit.
That's my dad's shit.
Little Saturday Night Fever soundtrack and shit.
Damn.
But
It's funny, man. The 80s.
I'm just getting down, boy.
yeah, he liked all that.
Hey man,
shit.
when we went to Dominican Republic and we went they had like a foam party at the beach. He was in there like getting
was
in a
there?
mix, man. He was
For real?
yeah,
That's a beautiful thing, man.
it's funny.
yeah.
I was dying laughing. I was like, you're all up in all the foam.
All up in all the foam, all up in all that foam.
Yeah.
Man, we had a time. We were off. You just said it earlier. We stayed on topic. I don't know.
We
what
did a really
we
good
were-
job the first half, man.
We were like 3
Congratulations to
steps
us.
removed from that.
That's for
one.
us.
I don't know if we should.
We
give
just
ourselves
fucked that up though because we're 3 steps.
Well, I said the first half.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Well,
All right. Well, there's a couple of sports topics to get into. There's probably like more. You would be. It's baseball stuff. I'm not super familiar with it. But we'll start off by saying rest in peace, Vin Scully.
Oh yeah.
As a
right.
Dodgers broadcaster, he was
about that.
there for 67 years, so I thought it was noteworthy. You know,
the
he,
announcer for 67 years that's bananas.
yeah, he passed at
In
94.
pajamas.
So rest in peace, him. I'm not a Dodgers guy. You know what I mean?
Fucking awful. That was awful.
Juan Soto was traded.
Yeah, man. So he was okay.
How do bananas have arms?
There was
What
really
kind of stupid ass? They used to walk down the stairs in pajamas. These little motherfuckers. How they got arms going through it?
we're done with that. I have no idea how to answer that.
Why?
How can you answer that?
I've never bought a banana with arms and legs.
There will
Or
never be a
pajamas on.
time where you will.
I hope
Peanut
not.
butter jelly time.
If it happens, that's some weird mutation shit. I don't want that.
No.
All right, so Juan Soto had 4 teams interested in him.
Holy shit.
And it's really weird. So wait, what team
landed
did
on
he
the
end up going
Padres.
to? So yeah, okay.
Where did he come from? Which team was he at before that?
The Nationals,
Okay.
pretty sure.
Because the article only said where he ended up, so I didn't.
Pretty sure
I
he
don't
came
know too much.
from
about it.
the.
Where did you come from? Where did
I'm
you
not
go?
positive now, actually, I don't know.
Where did you come from?
Anyway.
Cutnajo.
The Mets were one of the leading.
So your pop's mad that he
teams.
ended up
He
there.
was so pissed. The reason why they didn't, I guess, is because I guess he wanted an extra year with an extra $100 million, and they felt like they already offered. It was like $400-something million for.
It's only a $500 million.
It's fucking crazy. So yeah, that's the reason why he didn't go to. The
That's
Mets,
so
but-
much money.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ralph.
but now he's on
These
the
are the breaks.
Padres. The Padres are going to be probably the top contender for playoffs now.
Think so?
Without a doubt.
That's crazy. 400, dude. How do you? That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
NBA gets paid a lot, but baseball, fucking.
NBA and baseball are the highest paid out of
Well-
any sport.
I don't know. That's probably for the most part true, but there are exceptions to that rule.
Oh, soccer, football.
Golf. Now this live
Oh,
league, whatever, right?
yeah.
They offered Tiger Woods like 700-something million
So
to
that's
go and play.
That's
And
that Saudi tour.
and he turned it down.
God,
Oh, they're Saudi backed. I don't
Saudi
know, like
backed
if they're
tour.
yeah, but they.
it's in Saudi Arabia.
no, I believe it's
just
worldwide.
Yeah, I think it's in
but
Miami
yeah.
right now. Where like,
But
they're
yeah, I
doing
think
it.
the group is based out of Saudi Arabia.
Well, they're
I actually
funded.
passed by TP Sawgrass when I was in Florida. That's like the main like hotspot for PGA tours.
Really?
It's beautiful, man.
Oh shit!
It's like gated and all that, but there's certain hills you can see over it, and it's crazy. dude.
Exclusive.
Man. To play on it has to be an honor. You
I
know?
would imagine.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like an Augusta.
They have like guys with like scissors clipping the grass, like you know what I'm saying? To even
To
it
the
out
fine tooth, like
perfectly. Right.
it's pretty funny.
You left the fucking strand too fucking
I
long.
would imagine it's something like that around tour time, no doubt.
That's
pretty crazy.
Where they're that like on it, you know? Yeah.
Probably making all kinds of money to cut
They,
the grass.
they're sitting there, they're not cutting
Yeah,
it with a
man,
lawnmower. They got like a
Landscaping in
clippers.
Florida is a huge deal, I would imagine.
Oh yeah. Well, they probably come through with the lawnmower, but like 7-8 times in the same spot, and make sure this is the
They're
right
pro-
size.
I would assume that the wheels are too. They can't. I think they're just going through with some like trimmers.
probably got some hover
some
shit,
like
you
some
know?
like literal hair clippers, just
I
like
don't even know, man.
on the greens. Like,
or
make
the
sure
wheels
it's
are
a
just
three.
in the middle because they're gonna
three.
run it right over. You know?
That's how they get the variance in like height.
I mean, I don't know though. So how many golfers are there that could potentially make that much though? 'Cause
Nah,
we're
but
The top
talking, like,
ones, like the Phil Mickelsons of the world, the top
there's
dogs.
probably 30 players in NBA and like 30 to 40 in MLB that make what Juan Soto was offered
Yeah,
right now.
That's a lot.
it's rare money, but it's big money.
That's no.
So
That's
I'm saying,
I mean
like,
that's
I don't
a
think
lot
there's
though.
30 golfers that
No, hell no.
No.
It's
That,
it's
you know.
Tiger Woods. It's his draw. But that can we go back to? That's a lot of money for that amount of
Yo,
players
listen,
to be
I
making.
respect to
No
Tiger for
cap in
doing
baseball,
it.
right?
Better man
how
than
much
me.
does LeBron James make?
I couldn't tell.
Or
You.
like what's his contract?
I don't know because I don't know how well his are always
I
like.
think he's like due for like 50
I'm
million.
saying
this year
him
or
as
some
I'm
shit like
imagining
that.
that's the highest paid
I would
player
assume
in the
something
NBA.
close because
Him or
they're all
Steph.
structured
Yeah.
2 and like out right or 2 and an option. He's been
Something
doing
like
lately.
that with an
Although
option for
these
sure.
teams have been throwing all kinds of money at these
You
players
know
recently.
LeBron's got the option clause.
Hell
Like,
yeah, because he always like, all right, maybe I want to
exactly that.
He's right now got the Lakers like dangling by his strings. Like, listen, I might come back, but also if wherever my son goes, I might want to go there. That
Honestly,
is tampering, by the way.
That reminds me. Did you guys hear what Did I send that to you guys? What Golden State is doing for Iguodala?
Oh, yeah, holding on to
They're
it.
holding
saw
on to that roster spot
That's dope.
with no rush or no hurrying on
That's
him.
great.
To
Good.
see, you know, if he
That's
wants to
great.
retire, he doesn't because he got these.
I think he deserves that respect.
Hell yeah!
He's been in the game for a minute. He's always been consistent.
Iggy deserves a lot of respect.
Golden State does a lot of things right, man. Their front office is
Yeah, they're
very.
progressive. Them and Phoenix, I feel, are really progressive.
Phoenix is
Yeah.
good. I think the best run in a long time is Golden State, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because like they're just so.
Well, their front office is connected. They know, like, they're in touch. Is what I mean. You know, like
That's probably
they
true.
know kind of.
They're progressive.
They're
able to.
They handle the landscape as it should. be.
Right.
I think
Right.
it's and because of the fact that they're winners too, right?
Well,
You
of
could be
course.
well
That
run.
helps.
Like Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's a great owner, right? But like they're not winners, right?
Right.
They're just really well run and pretty
And
dope,
for
pretty
what it's
well
worth,
oiled.
Dallas doesn't sell out their crowd
Mavs,
every
no.
The
game.
Mavs
you know?
are usually in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, but I mean winners in regards to bringing home the hardware.
I'll get you.
The Bulls, even right in the '90s, as great as the team they were, the organization really wasn't
Man,
that
Well, the
great.
Bulls have always had that issue.
I'm surprised we even had Jordan for as long as we did.
Oh, it was a treat.
Like watching Last Dance, it's like he probably should have been gone.
Yeah.
like, in like '90.
We almost
And
didn't have
in
Scotty.
this day and age, he
Something
would
like
have
that.
been.
We almost didn't have
Sure.
Scotty.
This-
And if we didn't have Scotty, we wouldn't have Mike.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's a whole different team, man.
Yeah.
it is. But like if it's 2022 and MJ's getting treated like that by Krause or John Reinsdorf, he leaves.
Yeah.
He leaves and
Well,
he goes and wins somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he didn't, they were trying to not have Scotty, and he was gonna bounce.
Yeah, because they
Like,
wanted.
excuse me?
The funny thing is they wanted T-Mac.
Yeah, I heard about that too, man.
That was the trade they were thinking about,
Yeah,
and, and Jordan told them no, right? But can you? Is there?
I
Let's
don't
just
know,
play. Let's
man.
just play a little bit, right?
I don't know.
What is?
That's wild, man.
Was T-Mac the defender that anywhere near what Scotty was? No, right?
I don't. So
I don't
look,
think so.
look at the accolades then. Like,
Yeah.
So Scottie Pippen got Defensive Player of the Year, I'm sure, a
I
few
think
times.
so.
I don't think T-Mac ever got that.
And that's what I'm saying. Was he? If
T-Mac
that's
was an
the
All-Star
one thing,
maybe once or twice.
you can't forego Scottie Pippen because he's a offensive and defensive player. You can't take that two-way player and forego all that because of T-Mac's offensive prowess.
I mean, he was arguably at one point the second best player in the league.
yeah. I mean, you could say that. You could say
Arguably.
that.
I mean, obviously,
think
you know.
so. I
You
think
know,
so.
I was a big fan. I'm not a fan of
The-
who
the
he
Bulls
is right
still-
now.
the
I
Bulls
think
had a
he's
winning
lost. He's
record
off his
without him.
rocker.
I mean, yeah.
But
know what's going on
I don't
with
like all that shit. But beyond that,
his
Larsa-
bourbon's-
Larsa
his
done
bourbon's
fucked him
good
up.
as fuck, though.
really,
Man, I'm not even lying.
okay.
That is crazy.
Well, there
it's called
he sh-
digits.
He
I
should have
think.
called it Zippin' Pippin.
That's.
Larsa fucked his ass up.
I get it,
You know?
but nah.
Also,
that ain't
It's
good.
it rhymes.
As great
So
as
there's
that,
that.
as great as,
Brand, homie, not
as
at
great
all.
as a nickname as that was, I don't like it now, but I love it. If that makes any sense,
Zip and Pippin.
Zippin' Pippin.
It's
It's the nostalgia in it. I don't like it now, but I loved it.
Such a
so I do
90s
love it.
call.
Yeah.
Like 80, like late 80s.
He's
90s.
Zippin' Pippin.
Right.
Man,
What a wild time, man.
one of the greatest
Yeah.
dunks ever. He's ever. He put that on that
Ewing?
Patrick Ewing.
Forever.
Sorry, man. That is forever going to be.
Ewing is forever Scotty's bitch.
Do you think?
Excuse my language.
Do you think there's an argument, right? If you were to name the top 10 dunks of all time, that there's a possibility MJ could have all 10?
I don't know.
I think he's got the majority of them.
So
When you just go back and watch, because like obviously there's like
Kobe with the under the legs, the crossover dunk
Yeah.
in the air.
there's what do they
Yeah,
call it?
Vince
There's
with
recency
the arm
bias.
in the bucket.
Okay, are we counting
Dunk contest.
dunk
shit?
contests?
Oh well, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of
okay.
reason-
All right, so
like,
There's
yeah,
the recency
in-game
bias that
on-
must be taken into account, right?
Well,
because,
then even
you're
that,
right.
so because Neek
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
crazy. During,
okay,
during
so
games.
let's just kind of go.
There's
over
also
a little
arguing
bit.
that just because Muggsy Bogues was able to do it.
No,
Julius
Muggsy
Erving.
Bogues couldn't dunk. You're talking about Spud Webb.
Spud Webb. There you go. My
Spud.
bad. Respect.
But
Okay, so my thing is, MJ dunked on everybody eventually.
yo, I want those Jordan Citrus Sixes with a Spud Webb jersey.
The sixes or the sevens that are coming out.
Sevens.
Okay, yeah, those citruses
That's what I
are
meant.
dope.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the citruses.
But no, but like before this, I have never wanted those. I thought they were disgusting. But saying like thinking about that
Oh.
that team
The
though.
connection to it.
that's
crazy.
why a lot of shoes will usually
Atlanta
get a
was
nod
lost.
from me. Is because they're fucking. There's a callback to a time he wore them or when he. You know what I mean? That's
Exactly,
what
man.
the history of it really gets me.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
That's why I had to buy those 72 and 10s. Like Man, and it's I don't know. 11s are probably my favorite. thing.
I don't wear mine much anymore.
Not to get into
but they
shoes,
are.
but I'm just
Well, shit, we could talk about it.
I'm just saying.
But
Yeah,
no,
the
I think
basketball and sneaker world's connected.
100.
Boy,
So MJ, so there's the dunks like on he did so many dirty things to Patrick Ewing. Pause.
Well, that's because the Knicks were a rival and they continue
oh
to be.
man, he
you know?
loved it.
Well, just out of the fact that the cities, you know.
I just love watching.
The hell, look at this.
I just forgot his name.
The condensation.
John Starks. John Starks go against Mike.
Fucking John
Yeah.
Starks.
I hated John Starks with all my
I
heart.
hated John. I hated the Knicks.
And I'm glad we always won against them.
I hated the Knicks so much when we were younger. Like,
yeah, but hate Detroit way more.
Detroit was dirty as fuck.
yeah, but the
man.
thing about Detroit
and
is
I wasn't really alive for
Yeah,
all that,
that's
or
what I'm
not. Well,
saying.
like I was alive.
It was
I
early
guess.
on.
Or
Early
maybe I
on,
wasn't. I
that's-
don't know. It was like 83
it
or
was like
84 or something
88, 89.
Yeah, but it went
90.
until
When I was
like
alive,
92,
though.
93.
We were
you know?
alive,
But I
it's
wasn't
hard.
watching basketball.
Right, you can't call back to that.
Yeah.
Like I really
True.
can remember how I felt when they played the Knicks because obviously I was alive and more present then. But in '88, I was 3 years old. I don't know anything about basketball except that I have a.
I mean, it
Fisher-Price
went to
ring.
like 91, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like at some point, my first or my. I know I've watched them all because they did, but my first callback is maybe. It could be maybe 92, but I remember only like 93. The 93 finals is my first callback to finals.
Also loathed Utah, you know.
Huh?
Also
Yeah,
loathed
man.
Utah
Oh,
very
of
much
course.
so. Yeah.
But I didn't really loathe them as much as probably felt bad. They were gonna lose.
Listen, I mean,
Yeah, but you can never deny how good that team was. Though.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately, there's a
any
lot
other-
of great.
because like you can talk shit about the Knicks because the Knicks still kind of sucked. Like,
Yeah, still
throughout
today.
those years, you know.
It's true.
They never really had a strong franchise.
No.
I guess maybe.
But, like, I
maybe
would
earlier.
respect-
I don't, yeah,
because
right,
Phil Jackson won with them.
Stockton and
Right.
Malone would be much more respected in my eyes if it wasn't
If
that era.
they had those
I
two,
get you.
if they had those two,
What?
if they had won those two,
No, I mean, yeah. Just like if they weren't in that era, you know, if they weren't going up against Mike, you know what I mean?
well,
like,
there's
they
a
would-
lot of
there'd be
ifs
more
for
respect there.
that for those '90s. If,
But I just have to look at them like, yeah.
Sean Kemp and
We gotta
Gary
get, like, a
Payton
fart thing.
had not run across Jordan, they would have
Bruh.
been champions.
Yeah.
Maybe you look at GP
Rain Man
a little bit different than he did. Maybe Sean Kemp's
But I was always a
career,
fan of that duo, though.
Maybe Sean Kemp's career goes differently. He doesn't get traded to Cleveland and get fat. Maybe he's now become. Maybe they actually win a second championship. 'cause they
I
were
was
a good
still always
team.
a fan of that duo, though.
Huh?
I was always a fan of that duo, though. I never looked at them like, I despise
Of course,
them, you know?
no. But I'm saying
Man,
the
GP.
trajectory because they weren't looked at. Gary Payton won a championship later on in Miami, but Sean Kemp's career kind of started to slide a little bit, right? Had they not encountered Mike and won, that may have been different.
Also, one of the most athletic players
Charles
of
Barkley
the time, you know?
could
he put
not-
on a show. That's why.
Charles Barkley couldn't be ridiculed by Shaq. He'd have a championship. He couldn't be ridiculed by Shaq the way he is. That changes that, right? I'm just saying.
Gotta love those two,
There's
though.
a lot of differences.
He also turned down money from the Live League. Chuck.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how much they offered him, but he turned it down. But I mean,
Chuck.
like, there's also the work atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like NBA on TNT, that shit is just it's fun to watch. You know?
Yeah. And that would change because Shaq couldn't little brother him as much as he does.
Well, I mean, still could on as far as basketball goes.
Gary Payton, John Stockton, arguably one of the greatest point guards of all time, are leading in assists or one of the leading.
Yeah.
Either way, he would have a championship or two. Karl Malone
Because back in the
wouldn't
day,
be
there was-
just known
there was
as the
true
guy
point
with
guards,
so
there was
many
true,
points.
you know,
Karl Malone would
that's
be
not a
known with
thing.
2 championships.
There's not true position players as much these days as it was then. So you can
Right?
look at them and say
There's a
that,
lot of stretch
you know?
players, you
Yeah.
know, which is different.
A lot of combo guards. You know?
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, we could talk about what ifs with MJ. Like, that's why.
Well, of course. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
but
like,
I think it's even more fun to think about the what ifs if the players that were in that matchup would have won where their careers had. That's where I think it's fun.
yeah,
You know,
it's true.
because we like even think about who was defeated in conference finals, right?
Yeah.
Then we beat the Magic one year. We beat the Magic like in '90 before we got to the what's it called, to the Sonics. So that maybe that even changes the things. Maybe the person that wins isn't even the person that was in the matchup. Maybe it's the person they knocked off in the conference finals.
Yeah, for sure.
Penny Hardaway gets a ring. Shaq gets a ring in Orlando.
Yeah, man.
I always
You
forget
get what I'm
that
saying?
Shaq was
Like,
in
there's
Orlando
a
too.
lot
man.
of-
I don't know why, but it's like something that just like Because you have him where you won championships, right? So
Yeah.
like Miami, you got LA, of course. But I always for whatever reason, and he was like a big player still when he was in Orlando. But it's just
Yeah.
something that always slips my mind for some reason.
You know, I think it's fun to think about the idea that I love we had MJ. This is great. Everybody, even if you hated him, have to realize we lived through a great thing to see him.
Of course.
I think an even more fun question is, what happens in the years if MJ never was in a league? Like,
I mean, you had the 94
no. Okay, so
without him. And
so
it's,
the
not something that was as exciting.
let me put a caveat
not
to that.
you got to give Scotty his respect because they had a winning record.
Yeah,
you know, like
they just couldn't get over that hump.
Yeah.
Let me put a caveat to that. He's not here, but all this affects the league is how the league is, right? He kind of made it that way, but assume that the league got to that.
the Jordan
trajectory
rules was a
already.
real ass thing.
Well, that was true, but I'm talking about like in terms of culture,
it
culture,
changed,
and
yeah,
everything.
culture too. But it did change some of the aspects of how the game was played as well. Just having him on,
Of course,
yeah, so.
but what I'm saying is like imagine all these things changed. So what like all the players and everybody would have developed the way they did. The matchups got to where they were. What does MJ's absence do to this league? Who wins? Is there another dynasty?
I think it puts a question mark at every year for championship. Like who's going to take it this year? You know, where it was kind of a foregone conclusion after the first one, almost. Probably, you know,
Because
that like it's the Bulls.
Like I love the idea it was a foregone conclusion for us to win every year. I loved it, but the idea that it's
That's what I'm
kind
saying.
of
So
it's kind of up for grabs for the teams that he would have beaten.
That's what I'm saying. So
anyway.
you take him out.
That's an interesting future for or piece of history for that league. 10 years of that, 90s.
But in that time, the talent was more widespread in the league. So there was more question marks. Like, okay, who's gonna take it this year if you pull MJ out of
I
it?
get you.
You know?
Do the Knicks win at all ever still, or are they still a shitty little organization in a small town in the Northeast?
I don't really see them. Doing
I'm
much.
sorry, New York. You're not a small town. It's
Gonna have to
Maybe
apologize
they'll
to
go
New York.
past the first round of the playoffs. I don't know.
Who? The Knicks? Yeah. It's just they just never. Maybe like it would have been nice to see Patrick Ewing win a championship just off.
Like the Knicks against Magic.
That's what I say. Does Magic get another year or two as a reigning supreme?
Oh.
You know, like
We forget Reggie Miller probably wins a championship
I think so.
yeah.
Pacers were strong.
multiple times probably because they struggled against MJ.
Yeah.
But they did scare the shit out of me in '97 when they took him to that 7 games.
Yeah.
I had to leave out the room.
Right.
I walked the fuck out the room.
Right.
It was like 5 minutes left, and the families, everybody's just like fucking holding their breath. And I said, "Fuck this! I can't finish this." And I went outside. I grabbed the basketball and I went and shot my own fucking last 5 minutes of the game. And I swear to God, I came in. I was like, "We won."
And then the next
fucking
season, we
goodness.
got repeat to 3-peat stickers everywhere.
Man, I swear to
Crazy.
God that. But yeah, the preconceived notion we were going to win is awesome. But the interesting idea is where does
Well,
who
I mean, you
wins
can't
without
have one
him?
without the other. You know what I mean? Like in order, right? That preconceived notion was the reality. So when you take that out, then that's when the question marks come. So hey, Jordan is not
Well,
reigning supreme
for
for
us,
6-7
other
years
te-
of the league, arguably 8 years if he was still in there. You know?
Other sports fans have like hope in their team maybe beating us. So like they didn't think it was a preconceived notion. We knew. They hoped. That's
Yes,
a
yes,
different
yes.
story.
Exactly.
You
Men
know?
do what they want, boys do what they can. Or
So you calling everybody else
There
in
you
the
go.
nation boys?
well, all the other teams.
all
on the-
y'all little boys out there.
all the other teams in the league, they were arguably his sons.
That's
Right.
the
That's what it
funny
was.
thing.
Right. You
And
sunned
then
them.
I think it's you know what I like is when you see like there's these reaction videos on YouTube reacting to MJ's videos for the first time, and these people be like,
Because I told you,
What
recency
the fuck
bias.
was he
so these
doing?
kids can only see LeBron, and they're like, "Oh, he's the greatest ever." Yeah, but did you
dunking on a
see
fucking
MJ
7-footer who's known for blocking everybody's shot is a feat in itself, right? Like not many people are gonna be able to do what he did, floating through the air for his money. How do I want to dunk on this person?
Yeah, man.
Because
Actually, I
it's
don't
funny.
want to. Switch hands.
Right.
They asked him, like, there's an interview with him talking about, like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I jumped in the air and I kind of, like, freestyled when I was up there. And whatever way I was going to get into the hoop, that's how I got
Literally,
in
he had
there.
enough time. My name is MJ. I came to dunk. I don't give a fuck. Bam. That's what he would do. He would dunk.
I'm going to give you a beat for that?
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Come on, man. Here, give it to him.
I haven't heard this in so
It's this
long.
fucking-
What's the only beat that we have outside of the DMX? What you want?
yeah.
And that has to be reserved for intros and
It's
outros.
been so long. I haven't heard that little doom, ba-doom.
I think I have shook ones on here. you know. But I don't want to give you that.
Nah, I'd rather not. I don't want to disrespect that beat.
Yeah, that's why I won't give it to you. You
Okay.
know? I should. In fact, I'm gonna take it off. This is gonna be removed from this system.
And I think you should put. What was that song you said? You can have it. You can taste.
No, taste.
Oh yeah,
Taste. You can get a taste. Taste.
yes.
Taste.
I got him to do it again. Taste. You can get a taste. Taste. That's what he was. Adam
How the
Shoulders.
song
The,
goes, though, you know what I mean?
That's very true.
That's pretty hilarious to me, man. So
When you're sitting down dancing, that's how you do it.
I've decided. I
Move
think
shoulders.
for my birthday,
Fist
I want to
bump.
get my tattoo.
You got a tattoo?
My first tattoo, but the Stacks tattoo, really.
Okay.
But I have to find the tattoo artist, like, really.
Well, your birthday is in like a month, so you should probably figure that out.
I mean,
I think today's the 3rd.
it's like enough days.
Oh, no,
to
it's the
do a
7th. I
search.
was
I
completely
think
up.
it'd take like 2 or 3 hours to really do like a proper search.
Clearly, I'm not aware of what day it is.
What is today's date?
It's the 7th.
Oh.
It's the 7th
Yo,
day of
how,
August.
how the fuck did the summer go by so quickly?
It's already August.
How did the year go by so quickly? They said the other day that Earth is spinning faster.
Yeah.
We had the fastest day on record ever.
June.
I was like, what?
I feel like
We're
this
just
just means we all
fucking-
gonna die, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Earth is gonna start fighting back. It hates
It
us.
has to.
We are the worst.
I feel
We're
like that.
killing it.
It's gonna just,
Like knowingly, premeditatedly, like
you know how like if you
if this
you,
was a court case,
if
we
you drive a
would be
supercar too fast,
Totally.
you can lose control much easier, right? So the Earth is eventually just gonna rock off its axis, and we're gonna be like float towards the sun, and that's it. So hey, enjoy your time while you got it.
They said that there's a hole opening up in the middle of the sun. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I thought the sun was like a gaseous solid.
Yeah.
I know that's not a thing, but the only way I can describe what I think. it
Yeah, I
is.
mean those are kind of the conflicting things there. Can't be
but-
solid and a
So
gas.
the Earth is fighting. Oh,
can't do that.
there's in Norway or Iceland or one of those areas. One of their volcanoes is becoming more and more active, and they think that it's on pace to become the more.
Think Iceland,
The Iceland maybe the more
because Iceland is one big volcano.
more active volcano in the world for generations. They said going forward.
So what does that mean then?
I don't know. I think we're all dead.
I think that like heats the oceans more, and then
No,
obviously that leads to like the ice caps melting, and then the flooding, and then that's
Oh, the big
It's
one
just
is
an
you don't
ugly
want
situation.
Yellowstone to erupt.
Right.
That's
and
what you don't want.
And then
to
once you have any volcano erupting, all the debris and ash and everything goes in, and then it blocks the sun out. It makes things cool. Yeah, it's all a nasty. You know, I used to know a little bit more about these things back when they were teaching us, and
It's like some of the only things they taught us. It's like they really went as far as they could to teach us earth science. But like they didn't want to teach
now
us what
they.
a loan
The funny
was.
thing is now they ignore it.
Yeah.
Like no, that's not true.
But
Those
you
things
spent so
aren't real.
like they completely reversed. Like no, it wasn't that. It was this. This is what we were teaching you. No, like that's the funny thing about it. Like they went so far, but I never learned the word loan until like they told me this is how much I can get for my loan in college. I was like, you're gonna give me this? You're gonna give me this much money right now, and this is how much I owe you, but you're gonna give me this.
Like, listen, don't worry about when you pay it back.
Run that shit.
The funny thing was they were like, oh, you have to take loan counseling and promissory notes. It's not even counseling. They give you a paper to sign. And like, I'm not going to read that.
Dude,
You know what the last time I read for an assignment was? Like, you think I'm going to do this? You just give me money.
at one point it was just online and you just had to check the boxes. You're like, and listen, I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm not reading this shit, bitch.
I'm
you
not
better
responsible.
Tell me this.
If I was responsible, I would do my homework assignments.
Somebody actually said that in life,
What?
like reading over those documents. Like, I'm not reading this
Not
shit,
me.
bitch.
Like, fuck this.
Me.
Check. Run it.
I'll go to the business office like, all right, so what do I have to do to get the money?
I was just
sign
gonna
here?
say that.
All right, here you
yeah.
go.
What do I have to do to get
I'll
this
sign
money?
it right now.
What's that shit?
What else you
Go
gotta
get the
sign?
money. Go get the money.
Right.
Like,
I was like, what else could I have
More
for free?
money, more money, more money.
hell yeah, man. That's what it was. I was like, all right, well, give me that.
Have a watch on my ankles and shit.
Do you know what
Like Marlon Wayans.
Right, like fucking that flexible ass.
Pulled it up
I was like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Dude, it's really fucked up. And then like they're like, oh well, you also have to pay this back. Two assumptions here, or two things. One, I'm under the assumption after college, I got money,
Sure.
right? I was also young, dumb, and naive during that point because didn't realize that wasn't true. Secondly, sure, I'll pay it
No,
back.
listen. Here's the thing. There's a caveat to
In
that.
10
At-
years?
At one point,
that's like 1,000,000 years from now.
At one point, that was true. You go to school, you
Sure.
work, you can pay for school without having to take crazy loans out, as long as you're just going for your bachelor's. Then you get a job when you come out of school and you make decent money.
What you're failing them to
Now-
understand is you said at one point.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
that's
at
what I'm
that
saying.
point. At that point, you should have adjusted
Yes.
to tell this guy who's in front
But
of you.
again, you
not
can-
even guy.
you only
I'm
know-
pretty much a child.
You only know what you know or the people around you know, right? And so for us, Pops, it made sense for him. He went to school, got his shit done,
get you.
whatever. Didn't really have loans because, minimum wage made sense at the time. And he
Yeah.
was able to come out and he's like, yeah, this is the path that you take. But it's like, no, it's not. But we've talked about it, right? So I'm going to move on and I'm going to give you guys some LeBron James hate real fast. and I don't want to ever hear that I hate on him too much ever again.
Is
After
this basketball related or outside?
No,
of
it's outside of basketball, which is why I feel like he needs to
Is
be
it
just
something said on the
stabbed
shop?
in the ankle.
You said this in the
Wow.
shop?
Well, Pat, it
Wow.
could be worse places to be stabbed. Ankle, I'm
This is
giving
like
him.
taking it to like Celtic Pride. That movie Celtic Pride. They're they kidnap Damon Wayans. That
Listen,
was
man, listen.
pretty fucked
All
up.
right, this happened. I came across this because HBO Max had canceled a few things that were slated to come out, and there was a reboot of, and you guys probably knew about this, but I just heard about it. Right, that there was a reboot of House Party that he was behind.
No, I had no idea.
Stop. Yo, like, why do you keep trying to touch all these old classics? Get the fuck out of here and go do something else.
All right, hold on.
No. There's
I
no,
just
no,
wanna
no.
ask
There's no
questions.
justifications
I'm
for any
asking
of this.
questions.
I'm so glad that HBO Max canceled this.
I'm clarifying.
He was working with Eric Carter.
His hate is so much. I can't
Maverick
even
Carter,
ask
no,
a question
no.
to clarify what's going on. I just want to know. So he initiated
him
these
and his
things?
boy Maverick Carter, right?
It was his boy from high school, right?
Yeah.
That I do like. I will say I fuck with that.
Absolutely,
all his
but
boys
go
run
and
with
do
him,
something
they
else.
paid because of him.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine, but go and do something fucking else.
And not only they got careers because of that. Not he gave it to him. You're right. I
Already,
agree.
when you touched Space Jam 2, I wanted to. I no. And then
Listen,
now you're trying to
all
do
I'm
House
happy about-
Party.
Let me tell you what I'm.
Been Jordan.
Yeah,
It should have never been LeBron.
it should have just never been.
Like
But
LeBron has bitten everybody's legacy.
I didn't even watch it. I refuse.
I'm gonna do your movie.
Or if
I'm gonna
anything,
join your
like,
team.
LeBron
I'm gonna.
James should have teamed up with the Monstars against Jordan.
Yeah.
That would have been a movie.
Yeah,
I don't know,
like,
right?
he
How
can
come nobody
been-
fucking thought about that?
he can be
what
involved
the
in it.
fuck? Huh?
Fucking
What the
guys.
fuck's the matter for you, huh?
He could have been involved as the antagonist, or just not been involved at all.
Yeah.
All right, I understand all this. And I hate it.
Don't you? You better
No,
not try
no.
to justify it.
All I'm happy about is that he didn't try. Two things. I'm mad that they've redone it.
Yeah.
Two, I'm just glad he didn't try to be a part of it.
I have complete
White man can't
unapologetic LeBron hate
Also
at this
mad that
point
they haven't done a re-release of Jordan Space Jam yet. Because
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
because he left it alone because it was
And
a
we
classic
need
and he
that.
didn't want it.
Yeah.
So-
But no,
Space Jam was what it was.
My
it
thing
was a
is-
moment and that was it.
It's a-
White Men Can't Jump being rebooted pisses me off. Firstly,
Yeah,
I'd like to see.
But
it.
I thought that was trash though. Like they're not doing.
No,
it.
they're doing it still. It's Harlow and
I don't.
is
want
it DC?
Probably.
I
I
like
don't
DC.
want that.
I like DC.
I don't think it was DC.
I don't want that.
No,
I don't think it's
nobody
him.
wants that.
I don't think it's DC.
Fuck. It's another rapper, but he's like really good at hooping. Quavo?
Soldier Boy.
I don't know.
Regardless,
guys.
I hate that they've remade this or rebooting it. Two, I will say that I'm glad that he also, though it probably would have been better
My
basketball.
LeBron hate is at new heights and is unapologetic. Don't ever tell me I hate on him too much. I don't ever want to hear that ever again from
Well,
you guys.
you-
Even if it's your opinion, just keep it to yourself.
I
don't want to hear it.
Are we saying that you have? Let me ask you this: do you have equal hate for him on the court and off the court?
I think that he does a lot of questionable things as far as basketball goes. Not when he's on the court. Even when he's on the court, he does.
Wait, what?
All right. So yes, there's a lot of hate. All right. A lot of the shit. A lot of the shit that they call
I was
like
like this. I was like,
a lot of the shit that they call tampering and all that shit, he's responsible for a lot of that. He also obviously is very known for deferring in big moments. So yeah, there's a lot of disrespect that I go towards him.
No,
there.
no, no. I
But
asked,
also
is it
outside
equal?
of basketball,
is the hate equal for the court and off the court? That's all I asked. Quit sugarcoating and confusing.
No, I
me.
think there's a little bit more.
I was like,
there's
he's
a little
like,
bit more
off the court,
hate
He's
for
a lot
him.
better than on the court, off the court.
There's a little bit more hate for him on his moves outside of basketball,
Okay.
just a little bit. Okay, because
What would you say?
he's
How do you
also
think that's distributed?
he's also like philanthropic, and he does his thing like as far as that shit goes. But he makes like, why are you trying to ruin the legacies of these fucking classics? What is wrong with you?
Well,
So
no,
I-
okay, hold on.
You're not even an
Remember
actor,
Family
and
Guy?
you don't even act good.
There is some justification. There.
No, there's not.
there is.
only if you remember in Family
This
Guy.
better be good.
Do you remember in
Yeah,
Family
I
Guy
mean, so
when
growing up, you love a movie, and you're like, man, I would love to have a chance to be in that movie.
I can give
and
Dave's
if
right.
you have enough money
Dave's
to
right.
No.
recreate that,
No, not at all. Because
Dave's
even if you
right.
can, There's a bajillion
Dave's
people
right.
in the world who have felt that way.
Dave's right.
And he's the only one who has gone
Because
and tried to
he
fuck these
can.
things up.
I mean, I'm also
Because
not
I can.
saying.
No, you're wrong.
I'm also not
No.
saying that the person that has that idea is going to make a good movie.
That's also. I'm with you on
You
that.
know?
No,
and if it's not going to be
just saying
good,
that they have
if
that
it's not going to be
idea.
good, then don't do it.
well,
sure,
true.
You're right.
He is-
100% right.
He is definitely.
All I'm saying
he's
is
what,
that-
37 years old, right? So he's,
Yeah, he's
1 year older than you.
No,
he's,
no,
or
he-
right in
well,
there, whatever.
He's technically. But
So
he's
he's in
graduated my
our
year.
generation of whatever, all the pop culture shit we grew up with. He did too. So he knows the sentimental value attached. He knows the nostalgia attached. He's not detached from it where he doesn't understand those
Okay,
things.
all right.
So if you go in there and you fuck these things up,
Another
you
hypothetical.
deserve to get smacked.
Another
We don't-
hypothetical.
but we don't know if he's going to fuck
Right,
it
right.
up, though.
Listen.
I'm-
Did you watch Space Jam 2?
I didn't, and I won't. I swear to
refuse.
God, I started this shit, and I was like, I can't
It's
watch
for
it.
me. It's like the Lady
not an actor.
Ghostbusters. I won't watch it.
Damn, I still haven't seen it either, though.
I'm just not. Listen. So
There's no justification.
my-
No, that's fucked up to say, but like,
okay. I'm just not gonna.
I haven't watched it because whatever. Forget it.
All right. Do you?
I'm not gonna say
Do you
anything else
remember?
about it.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not
Do you
gonna.
remember? Because they weren't a part. The original people are not a part. Writers, anything. It's just
Harold Ramis
unsanctioned.
passed away already.
It's
like,
unsanctioned. It's not supposed to be.
that was his movie, wasn't it?
Who's
wait,
gonna
wait.
who's gonna play the roles of Kid and
All
Play?
right. So remember in Family Guy when Stewie sat next to Matthew McConaughey? And he's like, man, you really make a lot of shitty movies, man.
He was like, they just
and
keep
he's like,
paying me.
they keep
Yeah,
on
but
paying
he's
me.
he's in his role though. Like you're an actor. So if you're gonna go and do a reboot as an actor,
All right.
that's
Hold
one
on,
thing.
hold on. Give me
You
1 second.
can't act for shit,
All right,
LeBron.
all
Get
right.
the fuck out of here.
Allow me this question.
Wait, so hold up. Wait, LeBron's acting in it?
Yes.
That's stupid. But allow me this question. Allow me this question.
No, there's no
Entertain-
fucking justification. It's ridiculous.
Entertain it.
The
please.
fact that
It'll be
he's
fun.
in it changes everything because now it's a really bad idea. Then.
Yeah, probably. He's probably
Yeah.
not the greatest actor.
No.
But entertain me. Entertain me. It'll be fun. I promise.
Again, we also don't know.
It'll be fun. I
No,
promise.
well, we know. There's been seven
I feel
fucking
like
house.
we- I
there's
feel
been
like
like
we know.
7 house parties. Why do you need more?
Oh,
I would almost
Get outta
rather
here.
have.
Yeah,
I would
even the last
almost-
house party wasn't that great.
I would
No.
almost rather have Marquise Houston come back and do a reboot.
Marquise,
And I don't
Marcus
even want
or
that.
Marquise?
Isn't it Marquise Houston?
I thought it was Marcus.
I think it's
Marcus
Marcus.
Houston?
Yeah.
Like
my
that's
fault.
Omarion's brother, right?
My fault. Right.
I'm
Listen.
the guy who didn't do so great on the verses. But so here, let me entertain my questions. It will
That
be
was-
fun. I promise.
Trash. Fucking trash ass verses.
So I'm gonna ask both of you.
Dude.
You're not an actor. You're just an athlete. You got some money and some influence, right?
Go
You're
do it
not
for
even-
fun.
Stop. Hold on.
Don't put it up to the masses.
Answer the question.
This man's not gonna
Answer the
listen,
question.
bro. No.
So-
No, because you justify LeBron all the time, and he's a dumbass,
I
man.
don't
Like, get the
justify.
fuck out
I
of here
play
with this
devil's
shit.
advocate because I know you hate him.
No, he's terrible.
So-
Anybody in the league besides
This
him.
is the hottest fucking take
I'm
ever.
a
right
producer. I'm a rep from. I'm a producer from some big company that's like, man, trying to remake this.
Then you should be stabbed first. You should be the first one with a knife in your neck. Get out of here.
now. Not the ankle. This
No,
time.
not the ankle. If you're a
gonna shoot
producer and you're trying to do this, like, come on, man.
All
First
right.
of all, my problem
disclaimer,
begins with this.
I'm not that producer. I'll shoot shots.
My problem, my problem begins with that, right? Hollywood has lost its originality. Everything is a remake. And then
Yeah.
you're gonna have LeBron,
We've
who's
been through
like,
that.
oh,
nothing,
let me take these
nothing new
things.
under the sun. We've been through that. There's nothing new. Nobody is
There are
creating
new things.
anything new. That goes to show you with all of this MCU and DCU, whatever it is, like they're literally just recreating the cycle every 10 years. They can't do nothing new.
Yes and
nothing,
no. Yes
There's
and
no
no.
new
There's,
ideas.
There's a shit ton of comics to pull
Even
from, so they can go
fucking-
ahead and do
even-
extra things that haven't been done in movie form.
Even
yet.
new ideas are derived from old ones, and they're
Of
going to be
course, yes.
mistaken for something else.
Right.
So what?
There okay. There have been a lot of good original movies though, like original ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
a lot.
100. But
Of course.
like, how few and far between is what we're saying. Like at some point, all of these
That's
producing
their
companies
version of
are going to
sampling.
have to recreate something.
That's their version of sampling in the
I guess so.
screen actors
That's
thing.
That's not a bad way to put it.
So they're digging
listen,
in the crates.
They come up to you, Adam and Dave, and they're like, "Hey guys, got this idea for a movie. We think you guys would be great for a partnership in it. We understand you don't act at all. We actually assume you to be pretty terrible actors, if you ask me. However, they've sent me to offer you an abnormal amount of money. Well, it's not even abnormal.
This is
What-
definitely what you would say.
Yes, I
to-
would. This
to
is how
these
I would.
people, yeah.
I'd be like, I think you're gonna be terrible at it.
Right.
But don't say no to this. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, I will give you even the LeBron stance of, maybe listen, I don't want to because I don't want to make people hate me more. Right? Adam hates me. I'm tired of it.
Right.
Dave's like,
Yeah, I do hate you,
Dave's
LeBron, if you're ever
Dave's
listening
like-
to this.
Dave's like Richard.
Hey,
Jefferson
Joe Budden
or something,
podcast, if
right?
you're listening
Like-
to this, you have a bigger platform. Let LeBron know.
Because
him?
voice of reason, right?
Oh, okay.
LeBron.
Don't ever call me LeBron. choose somebody else.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Right now, you're LeBron
You're
James
LeBron.
right now in this situation.
I hate me.
But you're LeBron. He's like, hey, Bron, look. I know. I suck at acting.
Don't do
this
that.
guy right here is right. But it's a lot of money, man. We can retire off this. I'm not trying to retire rich. No, look, Bron.
He's already got enough money to retire. He had it in the first contract.
You're telling me
Right.
you wouldn't take $200 million to destroy a franchise?
Tiger Woods turned down $700 million so he can stick with the PGA Tour. Stick to what you know, LeBron. And I don't mean that in the way of shut up and dribble. I mean that of get the fuck off the classic movies that I grew up loving. The fuck are you doing?
Glad you specified that.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
Because honestly, I don't.
Again,
watch
I
it,
give him
but
respect for all the philanthropy shit that he does outside of basketball. That's not where my problem with him lies.
It is kind of hilarious that he called it the LeBron School. Isn't it the LeBron School?
Something like that.
It's actually kind of something I would do. I would definitely name the school after.
I need to
myself.
get a boo in here.
No, I'm definitely naming the school after myself. And
That's fun.
The world. There's two things the world should be happy about. I can control my ignorant self. I can control that guy. And two,
LeBron can't.
I haven't achieved a doctorate.
Straight
Okay,
ignorance,
because
dog.
I don't care about the knowledge.
I just want you to call me
You
doctor.
gonna call me Dr. Osama. You calling me Dr. O, whatever it is, put doctor in front of it. DR, actually don't even. DOC. I want doctor. I don't want a doctor.
And to be honest, I don't think it's those studios that come up with these ideas. It's his boy Maverick who comes up with these ideas. Like, LeBron, we should do this.
But
no, sit
so-
your ass down.
That goes back to what I said.
So much anger. at
Yo,
me
we
for
got this money. You want to recreate this movie? What if it's been
Why
like a
recreate,
conversation
man?
for like 20 years now? That they've had,
Come
you
up
know?
with something else.
because
Like when I started putting a case on Avenue script
Hey,
together,
Bron, don't touch
I wasn't
like
like, oh, let's call it fucking Stand By Me Too. No,
put
no.
yourself. In,
There are things that you should
All right,
get the fuck away
let's
from.
paint a
Take it easy,
picture.
Bron. Take it easy, bro.
Right,
Damn.
Bron.
It's
It's
okay,
all right.
Bron.
So much anger.
Let's take
It's okay, Bron.
Let's take ourselves a
Why
little back.
I oughta.
Before we go to sneakers, right? Let's talk about this.
Oh shit, yeah.
You put yourself in the shoes of like your younger self. Let's say we're all in Kasson again, running around throwing a football. Dave's just ripped his dad's pants, right? His eyes.
Man, that was the one time I thought I was gonna get whooped like for a long time, like a 20-minute whooping.
Just beating.
Like guys, let's not call it a day. Let's stay outside.
But he was like, "Nah, it's all right." It's like, "Stop crying, man. Like it's cool." Like,
Spill milk, Dave. Spill milk. Throw some
I
newspaper on
remember
it.
that.
he's like, "Man, I've had these pants for like 10 years. Like it's okay." Just getting it
I
fair.
remember that day very vividly.
So I stole them out of his fucking drawer and I wore them. I was like, "Fuck!" I just ripped them out. And like, fuck. Like,
They were that.
yo. Yeah, but they had like the cloth on the inside.
yeah, those
so
were
it was
sort of
windbreaker
warmer.
outside, but the cloth on the inside, dude.
I
We're playing
remember
football
those.
and shit.
I remember how the rip looked. I remember when you
It was
ripped it, you were
bad.
like, "Oh my god!"
It
That was like
bad.
inner thigh, right? Like,
Yep. Yeah, but it was like the whole way down though.
Yeah, that shit split.
So only the white cloth was exposed.
That
and
was
shit.
that was hilarious.
I was like, I'm fucking done.
You're fucking done, son.
hilarious.
So Dave comes back from that. He's not.
Well, also hold up. But a bigger part of that too was like, I didn't have keys, so I couldn't go in there and just change and
you had
like
to knock on the door.
put them somewhere, you know, like.
Blame it on the
Like, Ma-
dryer.
Well, ring the doorbell, like, "Ma,
because
where's
my
Pop?"
dad was shopping. I came home and I saw him walking down the street
Oh.
with a cart, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like he's gonna see me. Like, you know?
What happened there, Dave? What do you
Right.
mean? What happened where? And your pants.
Man.
These are your pants. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh, my pants are fine, Pop. These are yours.
So Dave goes.
You might want to get some new pants.
Right.
I've been meaning to tell you, yo, you need to get some new pants. But no, imagine. So Dave goes inside, comes back out. He's cool, right? Didn't get beat. So we're just sitting there. We're sitting there, and we're like, man, how cool would it be one day to be in that movie, right? And you're like, that would be dope, man. 20 years later, we got the money. Somebody comes and offers it to us. Would you say no?
But the movie's already been done, so you can't be in
Do it again.
No.
Why?
Don't do it again. There's mad people who have been in classic movies, and they're like, yo,
So
I've
obviously
been in
you
it,
turned
but
that
I never
down.
even watched it.
Adam is.
I was just glad to be part of it.
Adam is just unwilling to let go of the hate of LeBron to go into this
All right,
objectively.
here's the thing. Okay, LeBron,
What if you're a good actor?
you went and did Space Jam.
What
too.
if we got? What if
No,
in
no,
a scenario
he's
you're
not.
a good actor?
But he's not. You're throwing
But
what
we're
ifs.
talking about you.
You're throwing what ifs in here.
But
We're talking
I
about
asked
LeBron
you
right now.
specifically.
He's not.
He's also not.
Okay.
I mean,
God
And,
damn it!
And he did Space Jam too, right? And from the fucking announcement, the initial, hey, we're gonna do a Space Jam 2, the reception was not very taken well.
That's true.
People were not happy with it.
Look at his arm.
But you did it, you know, and whatever, your fan base is like, hey, we don't know anything about Jordan, so cool, we'll just stick with this. Cool, man, whatever.
Would you call that
After you
would
did
you call
that-
that also based on those people who would watch it recency bias?
Yeah, of course, because they probably they
don't know.
They regard LeBron as the best of all time. They don't respect anything that MJ did. They probably didn't go back and watch the first Space
So
Jam.
to them, I shoot those people
No.
bail. I shoot those people bail.
Because you can watch it anytime you
No,
want.
I shoot those people bail. I shoot because to them they want I shoot those people bail.
So
Not
explain
LeBron.
it.
Not LeBron.
Go ahead. I'm gonna listen to you, but I'm not going to
okay.
look at you.
So I want to give you.
I hear you. I'm not listening.
I want to be specific about it. I'm not giving LeBron the pass.
No, I hear you. I said the
But
fans.
the
Go ahead.
people who didn't grow up watching Jordan, they're not. That's our Jordan is not their Jordan to them, right? So they don't hold him in the same regard.
Yeah.
Watching LeBron,
Our Ghostbusters is not the today's Ghostbusters. you
let's
know?
be honest here. MJ didn't do a terrible job, but he wasn't the greatest actor of all time. Okay?
Yes, but they wanted him
so-
to be in there.
He wasn't.
You
So-
combined
no, stop.
again.
You
You
asked me,
combined.
you were listening. You were listening.
Again, you
Hold on.
combined two of the greatest
But you're
things at the
listening,
time, right?
You're
The Looney
listening.
Tunes was huge, and
Fucking cartoons.
and that's what
Fucking
it was.
Looney Tunes.
The Looney Tunes are the other part
The Looney
of Space
Tunes,
Jam.
isn't it?
They're the other part of Space Jam. So you brought the best, the most highly renowned
Okay,
athlete of
well,
all
you
time
didn't let
here,
me pay- you
and then
didn't
you
let me
brought like
paint my
the most
picture.
popular cartoons of all time, and you put a
You didn't
fusion
let
together.
me explain. So, that being said, our MJ, we wanted to see Michael, right? Before that, we never said, hey, you know what would be dope? If Michael Jordan was an actor, right? We didn't think that. So when you hear Michael, or they hear their Michael, which is LeBron, just remember you're filling in these things because they're not of our time. When you hear your Michael is going to be in a movie with the fucking Looney Tunes. Also, I think in this regard, Looney Tunes aren't held as highly as they once were.
That's what I'm saying. So it made sense at the time because Looney Tunes were big, MJ was big,
but what
and,
cartoons are
and
big
mind
now?
you, the storyline revolves around the fact
Fucking
that he
anime?
The storyline revolved around the fact that he also retired.
Gundam.
He,
whatever
he
it
was
is.
playing golf, and they were like, "Oh, now we understand you retired, but yo, we need you to do like the storyline made sense with everything that was happening."
I don't know what the storyline of it. I don't care about the storyline. I'm not talking
But
about
it
that.
matters.
I'm talking about the idea that you're hearing your hero, right, is going to be in the movie with maybe cartoon. I don't know if I don't know where the
I have a
the
question for
generation
you in the middle of
sees
this.
them as.
I have a question for you in the middle of this. Okay, you're talking about the fact that you give LeBron fans a pass because they didn't go back.
Only
and look
LeBron
and blah, blah,
fans
blah, blah.
that are not of our.
So-
not, that- there's
so
there's
if those
a-
fans-
you got to remember there's a
Yes,
age
that's fine.
difference. I'm talking
That's fine.
about.
That's fine.
The
So
18-year-olds,
those fans,
the 20-year-olds,
so those fans
they weren't even alive.
who don't give a fuck
96.
about MJ's legacy, who disrespect it, who just blatantly disrespect it. Okay, those ones. There's no.
They get no pass.
There's no emotional attachment to Space Jam
No,
for
they
them.
get no pass.
So they don't need to see him in Space Jam. They're not like, oh, we need to see you in Space Jam 2. That doesn't exist.
Wait, how old are these people you're talking about?
You same ones you said, the 18 to 20 year olds, the people who he made
Well,
these
LeBron-
movies
yeah,
for,
but
who don't
I
have any idea what the
you
prior
gotta take it
rendition
away
of it
from
was.
that. It's not the fact that it's Space Jam.
No, you don't take away
It's
from
not
it.
the fact that it's Space Jam because that doesn't matter to them. The idea is
So then
'cause
why is Space
didn't
Jam 2
exist-
necessary?
Space Jam didn't exist before it just existed for us.
I love the regaling Space Jam.
But no, you get what I'm saying? And for us, there was no Space Jam before they said there's going to be a Space Jam.
Yeah.
For these kids who don't know about or care about Space Jam before, they only know that their guy is going to be in a new movie, right?
So
New
then why
movie.
does it need to be Space Jam?
That's beyond their that's,
No, but it's not
I'm
beyond it
shooting
for
them
us.
bail because that
No,
doesn't
fuck
matter
that.
to them.
What are you talking about?
It doesn't. It only matters in the regard. We're talking
Listen,
about LeBron.
if you're saying-
recreating a movie, he knows what he's recreating. The fans that don't know about the movie and are young enough to want to watch their hero in a movie don't care about Space Jam.
So then it doesn't need to be Space Jam.
That's his fault. I'm shooting them bail.
No, there's
Ask
no bail.
Dave right now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So fine, shoot them bail. It's not about them.
That's all I'm saying. I didn't say they should
That's
go
great.
to heaven and become
My
like
LeBron hate is not
fucking
about
saints,
the fans.
they're
okay?
fucking the greatest people on earth.
Hey man,
No,
that's
just shoot
that's how
up
you
some
regard
bail
it.
for that.
That's fine. My LeBron hate has nothing to do with the fans.
But I just
So you're going completely off the rails.
But
I'm not
you
talking about the
you
fans.
engaged in the conversation and said that I was stupid for saying.
Yeah, but you said you're gonna shoot.
I did shoot them bail.
This whole
I
whole
literally
thing,
click,
the
clack,
whole point
clack,
that you
clack,
made
clack,
has
clack.
been completely.
Shot 'em bail.
The whole point that you made has been completely irrelevant.
Huh?
The whole point that you made here has been completely irrelevant, especially if you're talking about
No.
those fans. Yes,
Because we're
listen,
trying to
Space
differentiate.
Jam-
There's
no.
some people you got to give credit to, bail to.
So you're talking about the
benefit of
actor,
the doubt.
the actor slash basketball player who
No, he
understands.
should- no, he-
understands
I
the
didn't say he gets
nostalgia.
bail.
Oh, just shut up. Let me
Did I
recap.
say that?
Shut up.
I said they get bail,
So you're
not
talking
him.
about the basketball player slash wannabe actor who's trying to go and remake this, right?
Michael Jordan was a wannabe actor.
Understanding the
Even his
nostalgia.
Hanes commercials were terrible.
This is why. Listen, your takes are absolute shit. You understand that, right?
No, they're not.
This is not LeBron. This is not caping for LeBron Day right now.
I'm not. I never
gets no
caped for
cape.
LeBron.
Yes, you did.
Did I cape for LeBron?
Then why are you taking it to his fans? Who gives a flying fuck about his fans?
Because we're discussing
In this-
things.
in the-
You talked about fans
in the
too.
world of remaking things for his,
You said
his
that you
fans
don't
have
give the
no
fans credit.
business here.
You said you don't give the fans credit or any benefit of the doubt either. I said you have to give a certain segment of them to doubt the benefit of the doubt.
You don't.
Well, you do.
Okay, that's fine. Those fans that you're talking about to give the credit to, they don't have any connection to the movies that he's fucking up right now.
Right. So
So there's no demand for it on their side. So the LeBron side is, hey,
he shouldn't have done it.
yes, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. But
so,
they
but
should-
that's what I'm
not
saying.
them taking
Those things
control.
don't need to be connected.
If you're a LeBron fan, you're like, well, I guess I'll
They're-
watch it.
These things all connect together. You're talking about somebody
Are
who's
you asking for an
today's
MJ
generation.
movie right now? Do you want an MJ
No,
movie?
but I don't.
You'll
also,
watch it.
I also don't
You'll
need a
watch
second
it.
rendition of a movie that he put out as in the prime of his career, where everything made sense.
If they made Space Jam 2 with Kobe, I definitely would watch that. 'Cause Kobe,
No, I don't want that either.
That I
Kobe,
probably would've
Kobe
watched.
was a funny actor.
Yeah,
I don't want
Kobe
that either.
was
He
was
pretty
hilarious.
funny.
I don't want that either.
What the fuck are you talking about, Kobe Bryant? Remember that that Kanye West? He was like,
You're also
be
talking about-
more greater.
He would, but Kobe also would not have done that. Yes, he copied a lot
No,
of
he would've.
MJ's moves.
No, I
and blah, blah,
think
blah.
Kobe would have done it if they
But
offered
there,
it.
no, he had a certain amount of integrity. He stayed with the Lakers the entire career that he
That has
played
nothing to do with him
because
shooting another Space Jam.
now you're just convoluting the argument with bullshit.
You saying that Kobe
bullshit.
wouldn't have done Space Jam had they offered it?
No, he was. What are you talking about? He was in his prime right after Mike.
Yeah.
He didn't do that because he's not a fucking asshole. Like what the fuck?
I don't think they offered it to him.
Sure.
I wouldn't have think that.
You
I
think that
would-
they offered LeBron, or he was like, "Oh, let's go do this."
So yeah,
Probably
I think LeBron just did it.
yeah.
Like
It was probably because he has. The,
So they didn't offer anybody.
No one called for that.
no,
yeah, but they're not. But they're.
What are you even talking about right now?
The idea that the idea
What is he
that
saying?
the idea that Space Jam 2 was even except greenlit means that they were completely open to the idea of rebooting it.
I get you.
yeah,
that
because
goes to
LeBron,
nothing-
who was the biggest athlete in the world, arguably
Yeah,
at this point, was
and-
like, "Oh, let's do this."
and
he's got-
so
as
they
we
weren't going to
just-
tell him no.
As we
X
just
amount of
said
dollars
10 minutes
behind it.
ago,
Right.
nothing new. So they're biting
No,
at
man,
These
listen.
production companies don't care about anything but profit.
Listen,
They
that's
just
not
want
true.
the profit. Really?
There are people who actually have integrity behind their work, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want that to happen." The people who were initially involved in the regular Space Jam, you think they were like,
Probably weren't
"Oh,
there.
we want LeBron
They
part of
probably
this."
aren't available. They probably still weren't there. That's like.
But I feel
22
like
years.
but like Warner Bros would do anything. I feel so.
Yeah.
Which
But just think about
they did.
think about at the
So,
at
yeah.
the at the time the original Space Jam was
in this
created.
world you're talking about, it's like assuming greed doesn't
No,
exist.
no, we're talking about how things actually were. In the original time that Space Jam was created, you had the coming together of all the greatest things, right? R. Kelly obviously has his problems now, but he was also one of the biggest singers at
And
the
that
time.
was a pretty
They
good
had him do
video,
the
I'm
soundtrack.
not gonna lie.
They-
He was in an empty
there
basketball
was
court.
everything made sense.
To think that
Everything came together and made sense. Space Jam 2 was created just for the sake of creating Space Jam with LeBron as the star. That was it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else behind it.
I would say greed.
House
has gotta-
Party
I'd
being
say,
resurrected would also be the same thing.
I'd say greed has increased
Who
over the
d-
years.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So
Integrity
now
has decreased.
I can say that I can. I see what you're saying. It's not called for.
It's not. I've always seen
Nobody
that.
wanted it.
I agree with.
But I'm
Listen,
not-
I agree with that.
But I'm not. I personally am not mad at LeBron for having that idea, though.
All right, well that's great. I am.
I would,
And-
I
and
think
that
he should've
hate
cre-
will
I think
remain.
I would have liked for him to just create a better.
He dug deeper into my hate bag. All right, I've
basketball-
never opened this bottom zipper in my bag that I found, but there's more hate in there. Oh look,
know, maybe-
oh more candies.
Maybe put LeBron in White Man Can't Jump.
No,
No, I think that LeBron should try to come up with a more original basketball.
I think
idea.
he should just stay away from touching the classics. Go and make whatever movie you want. He was in Trainwreck. I didn't have any issues with that.
What was Trainwreck?
Some other fucking comedy that he played in.
Is that like
There was basketball elements.
romantic comedy or something like that?
I don't know. It was just one of them silly
I'll never
comedies.
be able to narrow it down.
All those comedies have romantic elements in it, but it was just
I
like
don't know what
it
it
was
was.
one of those other silly comedies, whatever. And he just had a spot in there that he whatever, and maybe he decided he fell in love with acting at that point. Great, go make as many train wrecks as you want. Leave the fucking classics that have a sentimentality to the best basketball player ever. Sorry, I don't care what you feel
There's
like.
no sorry there.
Well, hey, you have to shoot the bail for the fans, whatever. So no, there's no excusing it for me.
LeBron so much.
Yes, even more now.
That's fine. But
Not
and
only
I
did you
agree,
do Space
and
Jam 2, which everybody was like, don't do Space Jam 2, but he did it. Now you're also trying to do House Party, which
I agree
Thank God
that-
HBO was like, let's not do that.
All right,
We don't want to be
before
touched on
Before we
that.
try to unstop, like,
But you know, someone's gonna take his money though.
Yes.
Do it.
Hey man, listen, he
I kinda-
might even,
I would
he
be
might even
like,
still
well,
do it.
Movie's going to happen.
He might even still
I
do
guess
it.
I'll take this money.
He might even still do it and put it on some other streaming service.
Exactly.
A House Party.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna respect HBO for being like, listen, we don't want part
Shit,
of
we
this.
might station on Hulu.
They're like, we don't want no parts
Like
of
a
this shit.
Hulu movie and shit.
House Party can't be made now anyway because it's a time. It's a movie of a different time. Like there's certain like they got all this cancel culture and it wouldn't be as funny as it was.
All
It
right,
came
so
from
listen.
that like early '90s feel.
All of your
things.
caping bullshit aside, can we just agree
Caping?
that
I didn't say
no, you
anything
did.
about LeBron.
So can we just agree that it has no business being
I
touched?
did not cape for LeBron. I only telling
Then
you
his fans have
objectively
nothing to do
what
with
things-
this.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about LeBron, can you
Such a hater
Can
for
you
him.
objectively say there's no business with any of these things
I
being
just said
done?
that.
Okay, that's all I need
I
to know.
said that
that's all we
earlier.
need. That's all we need. That's all we need. We'll move on.
Look here,
It's
calm
nonsense.
down, motherfucker. I'm telling you.
I
just 'cause you're
I
hate.
started this to tell you from the beginning. I don't want to hear shit about your LeBron. Oh, don't hate him
But
so much.
we're on
No,
a
I hate him.
podcast, So introducing a polarizing topic like
Listen,
you did,
some things-
my job is to then introduce
How is this polarizing?
a counter argument.
This is not
to
even
it.
a hot take. This is probably the coldest take I've ever had.
Cool. No.
Don't touch the classics.
Well,
you fucking
I'm
son of a
only-
bitch.
As your co-host, I'm only here to bring a counter argument to your argument to then pod better. So proceed with the next topic, Dick.
This is the last part I had.
Okay, sneakers.
We can go to. Bottom line is, you know how I feel. Fuck you, LeBron.
Wear
Right.
all my LeBrons that I have, which are 2.
You have LeBron's?
I have the low tops.
Sam is actually low key. He plays both sides of the fence.
That's
you know?
not true. I just
He
like
actually
a good
he
sneak-
actually
I like
low
a
key
good,
is like
comfortable
LeBron
sneaker.
is like kind of goat almost.
That's not true.
That's the vibe I get from the things that you say.
The vibe you get from the things I said.
Yeah, and
What's the vibe you get from my
and the
look right
support
now?
of the purchase and the support of the purchases that you make from him. I mean, come
Kind
on.
of vibe you feeling
Sneakers
right
are
now?
a different story.
Nah,
for
they're
me.
not.
Sneakers are a different
They're not
story.
listening. Think about it. All right.
And also, I don't hoop in them.
Was Michael Jordan not the first player with a signature sneaker?
I don't know about that. I think somebody had the
Maybe
Converse.
Larry Bird, I think, had.
Somebody had Converse or
something
something.
back in the day.
Magic or somebody.
but like
Converse.
he ushered in like the idea of everybody
Maybe
having
It was
a.
also a Tonics. It was like an old school.
Yeah,
shoe.
somebody had.
Yeah, but were they like a player specific shoe?
Something, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
somebody
positive.
had an endorsement deal before. I want to say maybe Wilt or.
All right, well,
or
listen,
somebody in
that's
those-
fine, but you can't like accurately say, okay, this is 100% who I know it belongs to. So the player that ushered in the era of having signature sneakers is MJ.
Of course.
Okay, so when you have him, he's like the first polarizing player who was like, oh, I'm gonna connect these two worlds, and everybody wants the sneakers because they see MJ do it and they want to be like Mike. There was that whole campaign, everything like that. You connect the shoe to the player. So when you're talking about, oh, I'm gonna get some LeBron, no, that's support for LeBron, and I'm sorry, I just don't have that. That's
well,
my bottom line
There
here.
you go.
All right,
For me, I like a sneaker. I like a sneaker.
all right, fair enough.
I wear what I like, bitch.
Man, hey man, you do you. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm gonna do me.
All right, well, they're comfortable. They're comfortable.
But when's the last
then.
time you wore them?
Huh? I wear them probably because I got 2 pairs. I'll put them in rotation every few weeks. There's a lot of shoes to put in the rotation.
Same.
And I tend to wear like, see the thing is I'll leave like 4 or 5 pairs out that I kind of like rotate. They just don't get a lot of fucking like. How many of these shoes have you worn?
I understand that, but I also have like a bunch of like multiple colorways for the same shoe. You know,
So do I.
so but they're not LeBrons in there.
Huh? That's fine.
Not a single one of them.
That's fine.
Out of all those, there's not a LeBron to
That's
be found.
fine.
What's called with those? Is it Blackhead? No, it's not Blackheads.
The wings?
No.
Yeah.
No, the 12s,
Yeah, the wings.
the Masters.
Oh, the Masters. Sorry.
That's what that is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, since we have delved into the sneakers a little bit, let's finish there. What you got today?
5 red foes.
So,
I hate you so much sometimes.
You ruined it, mate.
All right. Well, I got these Justin Timberlake threes. You know, they were his Super Bowl performance.
really?
Yeah.
That's what that is?
Yeah, I think these are the ones he wore when he exposed Janet Jackson's titty.
All right.
It was more than a titty.
Which,
it
if we
was
go
nipple
back,
too.
yeah, but if we go back to that, it wasn't the whole
It was all
titty.
squeezed in that little star.
If we go, that's the thing. If we go back to that, it wasn't the whole titty.
It was just
so,
like, it looked like this.
So it really makes me feel as though
This is how her nipple looked in that little star.
it really sounds as though, I mean, when you really break it down, that was completely a plan. Like, I understand that there's all the controversy afterwards and her side of the story, but like, you had a star around your titty. So as soon as that thing was ripped off, it's like,
Here's my thing. I feel like,
it didn't seem like it was
regardless of what
you know,
happened, we all won. We got to see Janet Jackson's nipple.
It's true.
It must be a nipple because I'm drooling. That's from,
It was like,
from Boomerang.
yeah. Dude, Boomerang is hilarious, man.
And there's certain classics that you won't touch. That's all I'm saying. Who's
Okay,
who's gonna remake Boomerang?
Speaking of that, look, quick little sidebar.
Who's gonna remake Harlem Nights?
No,
you ain't doing it.
they're
Don't do
redoing the Beverly Hills Beverly Hills Cop
Yeah, they were doing that.
on
I heard about
Netflix.
that.
And does Eddie Murphy have anything to do with it?
Yes, unfortunately,
He does have things to do with it.
no, but just like
So if you're bringing the original person in, if they have something to do with it, if MJ was in Space Jam 2, I wouldn't have such a
You're
beef.
wrong in this one. You're wrong in this one
What?
because
Says the guy who just gave all the bail.
Have you watched Coming to America too?
Oh man.
I agree.
Do you
that,
know how much Netflix
that's why I
gave?
said, hey,
no.
That's why I said reboots
greed
don't need to
has
happen.
increased over the years. They gave him a lot of money to recreate a movie half-assedly.
if LeBron was in Space Jam 1
Greed.
and he wanted to go and fuck
very
up Space
bad.
Jam 2,
Yo.
then that's his business. He's fucking up his own legacy. If MJ wanted to go do Space Jam 2 and it wasn't great, that's his legacy.
Sure, I get you.
You're right. You're right.
The
There.
fuck
But
is you
my
talking
argument
about?
Was also greed.
No, it's a terrible
greed
argument.
Greed has
Terrible.
increased. Greed has increased.
Argument is ass.
No, it's not. Because
Ass.
greed has increased. even fucking Eddie Murphy has decided his legacy doesn't matter enough for this. I forget. They gave him actually. There was technically supposed to be Eddie Murphy stand-up comedy, and we haven't seen one of those.
Yeah, right.
There's
It's
supposed to be like three.
raunchy and shit.
They basically paid him to do a terrible Coming to America, probably a terrible Beverly Hills Cop, because Axl Rose,
No, that's the lead singer of Guns N' Roses.
Axl Foley,
Axel Foley. Yeah.
Axl Foley, yes.
Okay.
It's good, you know. Either way, I'm
Not
pretty
the
sure it's
same
not going to be a
person.
good. Not going to be good.
I'm just saying.
I actually am going to be mad. I was mad at
if
Coming
they put
to America.
Beverly Hills
Man.
Cop out and they used Kevin Hart instead, I would be fucking livid at that
I
shit.
couldn't even get through.
You can't
Coming
put
to
somebody
America
else.
2.
But,
yeah, it was.
but if
bad.
you're gonna have the original actor come back for
I'm
it,
pretty
there's
sure-
more.
but-
There's grace a
but-
bit involved for me.
I think you got to pick a different person than Kevin Hart because at least he can act.
My point is, if you have a,
He wouldn't be terrible.
my point is only if you have a hot
It's like
comedian of
going to
today
find, like,
going and do it instead
hear
of the
you.
original.
I
So
hear
like it's like going to the NBA like, hey Jordan Poole, you're gonna play in you're gonna be the new Axl Foley. Come on. That's what that equivalent is.
Think about it this way, right?
Kind of putting some respect on Kevin Hart.
Kiss is retired as an entire group, right? But you're not gonna have 4 other guys come together and
take a
create a
second.
Kiss 2.
No.
It's not gonna happen because you respect the shit that's classic. Like
should
I don't care
not.
much about Kiss, but
That-
people love Kiss.
Should never happen.
There's listen, man. It's just a parallel that makes sense.
This is Kiss 2 now.
Because it's laughable, right? That's how I feel about these things. Thank you. Now, what you got on your feet?
That's a terrible argument. But it's
well,
not. But
what
I'll
you got in your
But I'll
feet, huh?
accept it because it's funny because you said Kiss 2.
It's not a terrible argument.
It's like in The Office. He was like, I need you guys to come to the bar to only applaud for Scrantonicity 2, not Scrantonicity, which I am no longer a part of.
Obviously, you have the Game, who's like a super big Nas fan, so he's like putting out Drillmatic in homage to Illmatic. But if he put out an album called Illmatic,
pushed
would
that.
you want to listen to that?
He pushed
Right.
that back.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. But he
There's-
pushed that back again, by the way.
No, of course.
He said something got leaked. But anyway, what kind of
Wait,
stuff you got?
after his Hot 97 freestyle, he did that?
I think so.
Oh, that's fucked up. He was supposed to be on
Something
the 12 or
happened.
some shit like that.
Somebody leaked his music, which is fucked up when you put an album out or you work on something. and
If
somebody-
things get leaked today, I just don't understand it. Keep it on your hard drive with the fucking producer you worked on it with and the engineer. Those are the 3 people who should hear it.
every day I go home with the hard drive. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. If it gets leaked, yo, what the fuck did you
Just
do?
walking out with a big, like, God damn it, I gotta find a more efficient way to carry the hard drive.
No.
Well, like when Renaissance came out, Beyonce shit, they had like bootlegs of it in France before it was anywhere else.
Right.
I don't know how that happens, but clearly there's shady people involved. So, like, when you're a high profile artist, you gotta have things real tight, man. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would think so.
People have access to listening sessions sometimes and they just record that shit.
Like if I had number one,
kinda fucked
multi-platinum albums,
very fucked
I would
up.
have an in-house studio and the shit would not leave here.
Right.
I don't know. That's just me, but whatever.
The producers couldn't leave. Anybody, you can't on the phone.
Yeah, the same
Come
way
out
that
your room now.
The same way that Kanye went to Wyoming and had everybody fly out there.
He
We're
did that on
staying
purpose.
here,
There's no reception in here. Hiya!
dude. Smart, honestly. It's
right.
like when Dave Chappelle takes away phones at his comedy specials. This is not coming out until I'm ready for it to come out.
Exactly.
True. All right, Dave. Since we're past the 2-hour mark, what shoes you got?
Heritage ones.
Oh, okay.
And I wear
like
these
those.
because I really enjoy these shoes. I like wearing them a lot.
Yeah. That's
Very
kind of
cool.
where I'm at with them now, too, right? And plus, fuck you motherfuckers who ruined the sneakers for me. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. Well,
I never seen a blue duck before.
my recap from this is
to be honest, I wanted to see a blue duck.
my recap from this episode is fuck LeBron and you guys ruined the sneaker game for Sam. So
That is true.
there you go.
All right, well,
Hey man, they don't know.
if you don't know at this point, it's 140.
It doesn't matter. I keep telling you, I can't take that part out.
Subscribe.
Thank you all for tuning in to episode number 147 of the Kiona and Kasson podcast. It's been a wild ride. We had a completely polar opposite first half and second half, but it's been fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I hope that you subscribe to the show. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all.
I love you.
Catch you on number 148, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Later!
Fuck you, LeBron. Isn't it?